Of the pregame. What's up, everybody? This is the pregame of the tailgate show. We're at Innisfree, so this is like the special digital edition.
It's awesome.
Cheryl Yuengling, I'm Mick Gillispie. Great to see you, by the way.
It's great seeing you too. I love coming down here once a year and seeing you.
I know. Well, I love it when you come through. There's Chad in the house. Chad, do you want to be on the pregame show?
Do you want this?
No,
I can bow out.
He's got his own headset. No, you're not bowing out. You're not bowing out. How's life in Pottsville these days?
Things are going well. The brewing industry is it's interesting right now, but we're doing well up there at Yuengling.
Well, we love it. I mean, look at this. We got a lot of swag that we're giving away today. I feel like I don't know if I have any more. Yeah, I feel like you had something to do with this shirt. I don't know if that's true, but
I had nothing to do with that.
Just say you did. Just say you did.
That's one of my creations.
Let me put Chad on here too. You and me are on the same camera. So
go to Chad.
We'll give Chad his own camera. You don't even need your MacBook, Chad.
For visual purposes.
Okay,
it's out of habit.
Look important.
It's out of habit, yeah.
But what I've always wanted to do is like a pregame to the pregame, because so many people watch digitally now that it's like, it's kind of like the future.
Yeah.
To think that, as much as we like radio, it's all digital.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No, it is. I mean, we used to joke about how when we were in school here at Alabama, what we would take to do broadcasts, right? Like, we would be in a position where we're hauling 50 pounds of equipment halfway across campus to the quad, to set up for the pregame show and then doing baseball and all that stuff. Right now you just plug in a laptop and a board and an internet connection.
Yeah, anybody can just Skype in from anywhere, Zoom in. Yeah, it's awesome.
We don't even need the board normally.
Right.
This is a big game, though. Alabama and Tennessee. Roll Tide to all you guys hanging out. Chad Anderson, Cheryl Yuengling, I'm Mick Gillispie. The radio version of the show will start at 5 o'clock, and then everybody complains on the YouTube channel about the commercials, right? But it's like you got to have those for radio,
right?
I mean, it's like, well, look, you want me to pay the bills or not? You got a lager right there.
I got myself a lager. Yes.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I got to tell you this. Where's my koozie at? I'm not giving this one up, but we got a lot of swag here. This is the best koozie. Yeah. Do you have one of these?
No, I don't. That you can put your.
Take that one, but just make sure we don't give them all away.
I
got some more. No, you have this one. No, you have this one. These are
Mick. If you don't think I don't carry my own koozie with me,
this one's got a pocket on it.
It does have a pocket.
That one looks clean.
I'm going with this one.
That is really clean right there.
I had a guy that
you've been using that one.
No, I just pulled it out today. But Ryan Griffin of Pearl River told me it's the best koozie he's ever had.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's awesome. Those are great koozies. Give them out. Some swag for people here.
So this one's mine.
Yeah, definitely. We got to get some Flight here, though.
I know. I don't understand that. Flight, how many times have I said it? It's the alternative to Mick Ultra.
Yeah.
A proud American company.
Yeah.
Yuengling. I mean, and you can't argue that. I mean, all these other, big time beer companies are bought out by foreign conglomerates. Like your dad's running this. I mean, he pretty much took it from his grandfather and then tell us the story. But I mean, I know the story. And amazing stuff.
So Flight is one of our newest beers. We came out with it in about in 2000 during COVID, unfortunately, but it's a low carb, low cal beer. It has better taste than some of the alternatives in that category. It's a premium light beer. And our brewery has a special story. We're 195 years old. We're on our 6th generation between myself and my 3 sisters, and my dad, who's 5th generation, is still running the brewery now. It's just, it's a story that you don't hear anymore in business in America. We're still American owned, family owned, and 195 years going strong.
How much pressure is it on you guys to take over eventually and run the thing? I mean, did you think when you were graduating high school you were going to do that one day?
Yeah, it's one of those things where our dad came to us when we were in high school, and he's like, he took it from where it was just a small brewery and built it to where it is today. And he said to us, he's like, if you guys want to be involved in this, let me know now, because we'll keep investing and doing things for the benefit of the company. And all four of us we said we're in. So after college, basically, we all just started working there and learning under him and learning his ways. And, we're at the top of it now. And he's still there. He's still very involved for being 80. But 80? He's 80. Yeah. He goes in every single day still.
Wow.
He's a proud owner of that company, and we're the 6th generation. We have the 7th generation starting to work there in the summer. So it's a great story.
So can I ask you,
Yeah.
you go out, you sit at a bar or dinner or whatever, you get Yuenglings, you pay the tab, they look at your card, it says Yuengling. How often does a server come back and say, like, because obviously there's not a lot of Yuenglings running around.
No, it's a very rare name.
Right, yeah. So sometimes what's the reaction you
happens.
get when you go and buy some and then get the
It
ticket
depends
and
where
do
you
the whole
are.
thing?
Yeah, definitely. You get the oh, are you related to the brewery? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, that's so cool. And they love it. And it's a great story.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's a rare name. So when people see it,
Cool.
it's kind of a cool thing.
Do you ever?
And we're only in 26 states. So, you go out west and it's rare.
Right.
You don't see it, but around here, hey, you get it. And
You get it.
it's awesome.
Do you ever get the awkward where a server maybe tries to push something other than Yuengling to you? You ever had that
Oh, yeah.
happen? And you're like,
Oh, yeah.
no.
Definitely had that happen where I order, a Yuengling Lager, and they're like, "Oh, we don't have that, but we have this, which is a great one." I'm like, "I'll have a glass of water."
Yeah.
Thanks, though. Yeah, no.
That's awesome.
No.
Chad, Cheryl said she wasn't behind this.
Oh, no. Come on.
I love this shirt.
You weren't behind
It's
that?
a great shirt. No, I don't have that skill to design something like that.
Have you ever had one of those beer hats before?
No, I have not.
How much do you miss going to school at Alabama?
I miss it so much. It's changed so much. I mean, we were here, 25 years ago?
Why you
25
gotta
years
do
ago?
math, Cheryl?
20?
Why you got to do math?
I don't know. But anyway, it's
Oh,
awesome.
wow.
I love coming back down here for the games, and
We
I'm so excited for this weekend.
were talking about going to Shreveport to see.
Oh my God, the Independence
Why you got to bring
Bowl.
that up?
I know. We just talked.
It was like 2006 or 7, and I was so sad.
Either Oklahoma State or well, it could be either or because they went back to back years.
It was like
Oak State or Colorado, whichever one it was. But yeah,
I think it was Colorado. I think you're
Colorado.
right. Yeah.
Colorado before Dion.
Yeah.
I went
wasn't
when they
personal.
played. I went and they played Iowa State. I went to all 3 of the Shreveport.
I only made
Oh,
2.
I went one. That was enough.
It's plenty. It's plenty.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was fun though. We had a great time.
What do you think about the game?
I'm excited for tomorrow. I think we're gonna come out and finally get like that, key win. Beat them by a lot.
Oh,
Let's
please
get
be right.
like Milrow.
No.
Let's go off. Let's
Please
go.
be right.
Let's do it.
They haven't had a game where they've gone off yet.
No,
No.
we need that. And this is the game to do it because of what they did to us last year. So let's go.
Well, you can
I'm all
tell
in.
too with what Saban said last night,
Yep.
and Saban challenged the fans.
Yeah, to be loud.
Yeah, you
I'm
never
there
hear
for it.
Saban do that, and he even said it. He's like, I never asked you,
Yeah.
but Saturday you got to bring it.
Be there, be square.
Yeah, he did.
Were you on the
Mullen.
post game show? We got the call from the guy's girlfriend, and she was like, "My boyfriend's making me drink Flight now." Were you on that post game show?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I was because she said, I don't know that he knows I'm calling yet.
Yes.
That was great.
Yuengling flight.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
This is one of my proudest moments. I said,
Awesome.
Yeah.
thank you.
I love it.
Yeah.
I could use a flight right now. I got a flight koozie.
I wish we had flight here. Yeah.
I got a flight koozie.
It's the way to go. If you can find it in your stores, grab a flight.
Yeah, I mean, that's the key. But I mean, it's a great beer. It's everybody wants something that they can drink that's not a lot of carbs and a lot of calories. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, but it tastes smooth.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest to the digital audience. I had a few of them already today.
Oh yeah.
Mick, I don't think anyone's surprised by that.
I think Betsy out earlier. We might have
Cheryl paid
given
for
him a few flights.
Cheryl paid for them. They even tasted
Hey.
better.
A little,
All paid for.
little extra crisp to that one.
We'll write that off.
Wait, I see the
Send
guy
that to
coming.
accounting on Monday. There you go.
I'm in this round right here.
Yeah. Does accounting ever get nervous when you come to Tuscaloosa?
I saw her buying somebody.
No, I'm like, these are on me.
Not
Because,
me.
yeah.
It's some random guy.
Yeah.
Like, just changing the world one beer at a time.
We're trying. We're doing our best. Go out, support Yuengling.
I can tell you my brother's a huge fan.
Oh, yeah? That's awesome.
Mudcat.
I love your brother.
Mudcat, yeah, that guy, he's never seen a Yuengling he didn't like.
All right, last question for you,
Yes.
Cheryl. You got the Red October shirt on, the Phillies right
Go
now
Phils.
coming up. They got to come
right.
back after a loss last
Yes.
night, but they lead 2-1.
I'm all in on them. They're going to lose one. It was last night. We're coming back tonight. We're going to win it. And we're going all the way to the World Series. Go Phils.
Yeah, go Phillies.
Let's go.
All right, guys. Well, we got what?
I'm
3
jealous. I'm jealous of the Phils. Me and you are both jealous.
You
Yeah,
should
we
be
are.
jealous
Yeah,
of the Phils.
Harper,
It is
Castellanos,
so
and
fun to
Schwarber.
watch. Yes.
All
Let's
should
let
be
Schwarber
Schwarber.
walk.
I know.
What a bad idea.
I know. That's what I mean. I'm jealous of the Phillies. They got
It
3
has
guys
been-
the Cubs should.
Price cutting thing. I don't know. I ran into one of Tom Ricketts' friends over here, so I love Tom. You know.
It's been a fun postseason to watch, and this is our year. I
Well,
think we're
they
going all
got
the
a
way.
ton of props. I think it was Joe Torre said he had never heard anything like the bank
Oh, it was
I
so
know.
a
loud.
couple
I
of
know.
nights ago. Yeah.
It's the atmosphere there.
Yeah.
Like just the regular season's amazing. Postseason, it's awesome.
The thing with the Phils
can't
that they've been
do
doing
it anywhere else.
is they just punch you in the mouth
Yeah.
in the first inning.
Yeah.
It's like the crowd's already jacked,
They've
and
been
then either
jumping in.
Schwarber or Harper are hitting homers in the first inning. It's crazy.
There's no one in that lineup that you're not like, oh, that's a shame.
Yeah,
Like they're all in.
they're fun to watch.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have a Yuengling Lager once we get past the first 2 segments.
I'm gonna leave it at that while I go have mine.
Is that it?
I'm honestly, I'm looking at that like,
Are you,
So good.
it's so hard to do that.
you gonna try to be pace car tonight?
I
Is
am.
that
Good
it?
luck. Good luck.
because I got to edit the radio and get it out too. So I can't really relax until the show gets out to all the stations, and then I can cut loose, you know.
Yeah.
But then we have all day tomorrow, so it's a game
It's
of
gonna be awesome.
patience. You know, after the Bama incident, you know, I've got to.
You know, there's an old joke a friend of ours told us one time. We'll use Yuengling to replace the hard liquor name that he described. But, you know, if Mick versus Yuengling, I guarantee you Yuengling's undefeated. Okay?
I believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's great to see you, Cheryl.
It's good seeing you guys too. I haven't seen you in forever.
I
It's
know,
awesome.
great to
It's
see you.
seeing
It really is awesome. All right, guys, this is it for the digital pregame. We're going to do the radio show, and then we're going to jump back on for 15, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes after the show, and kind of just bullshit. Baron Huber wants to jump on, and he likes to cuss, so
Oh boy.
he's got to do digital.
Not him.
He's got to do digital. I just saw him back there.
Oh, no.
But thanks for hanging out, guys, and
Thanks for having me on, guys.
thank you.
Roll Tide, go Phils.
Roll Tide.
Let's see.
All right, show's coming up right now.
The original Bama Football Tailgate Show is on the air. Alabama football is rolling, and we got you covered with a breakdown of the game matchup, an SEC preview, and all the fun of an afternoon on the quad with former Crimson Tide Sports Network broadcaster and SEC Network play-by-play voice, Mick Gillispie. The Bama Football Tailgate Show is presented by Yuengling Larger. Yuengling, America's oldest brewery. The only beer you need at a Bama tailgate party. Pearl River Resort Casino and Hotel in Choctaw, Mississippi. Let's play. Now featuring the sports book at the Timeout Lounge. Also brought to you by the Flora-Bama world-famous beach bar and lounge in Orange Beach, Alabama. Genesis of Tuscaloosa, luxury with a national championship service department. Sevierville, your Smokies start here. Visit Sevierville.com. Tuscaloosa Hyundai. Hyundai, the longer you look, the more there is to like. R&R Cigars, home of the Cigar Mansion and Victory Cigar, 2703 6th Street, downtown Tuscaloosa. Unique Bar on the Strip, home of the NFL, MLB, Premier League package. Catch all the games at Unique. Tuscaloosa Tourism and Sports. Not too small, not too big. Tuscaloosa is pronounced just right. Visit Tuscaloosa.com. Pond Royale, located at 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport. And NewLifeArt.com, publisher of Fine Art Editions by Daniel A. Moore. Use the code Bama Tailgate for a discount at NewLifeArt.com. Now your host of the Tailgate Show, Mick Gillispie.
What an open and what a game. Alabama and Tennessee play. That's a kickoff at 2:30, Bryant-Denny Stadium. This is the original Bama Football Tailgate Show, brought to you by Yuengling Larger, America's oldest brewery. And for the next 2 hours, we're going to preview this matchup. And if you guys follow us on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, Bama Tailgate on YouTube, we're going an extra half hour. We just did a pregame 15 minutes. So this is the type of game that you have to do when you have Alabama and Tennessee. The third Saturday in October. Yes, it is the third Saturday in October. The winner of this will smoke cigars. And, of course, our show is always helped presented by R&R Cigars. So we'll have the victory cigars. But this tailgate and this entire show is presented. Oh, thank you. Look at that. Some Yuenglings, some ice-cold Yuenglings.
On demand, right?
Oh, man. I haven't even introduced you guys yet. The remote is presented by Skrewball, the original peanut butter whiskey. Welcome back, Skrewball. We got some Skrewball swag we're giving out here. Chris Coleman from Unique on the Strip, Chad Anderson. Guys, I don't even want to do the whole, open like I normally do. I want us jumping in on this game because I feel like this is what Alabama is all about, playing big games like this. Number 11, Alabama. Number 18, Tennessee. Coleman, great to see you.
Great to see you. You're exactly right. You come to Alabama to play in big games. And for me, the biggest rivalry is Tennessee. 58-39 and 7 all time.
Me too.
And the 39 wins that Tennessee have is more against Alabama than any other team. And I feel like I've heard about all 39 of them 18 million times from their fans.
Yes.
And I don't ever want to hear about another one.
Hey, Coleman, you bring up the best point. Chad, Tennessee talked 15 years of losing worth of smack last year.
That's
not even the word I want to
in an hour and a half.
They crammed it in.
Yeah.
That's for sure. It's one of those games, Bear Bryant didn't like Auburn, but damn it, he hated Tennessee.
Absolutely.
He hated Tennessee, and that was just always a game. And it's just something about it, and no matter what it is, I hate going to Neyland Stadium. I hate hearing Rocky Top. I just hate all that crap that you just constantly hear. And Alabama, one thing I love about this weekend, they haven't played a full game yet. We haven't seen that yet from this team, and it's a revenge game. And you can tell, Mick, Saban said it Thursday night on Hey Coach, there's something brewing with him because he never, ever challenges and calls out the fans the way he did on Thursday night. And the way he did that with that show and the almost ultimatum that he gave the fan base on Thursday, he said, I don't want to hear it. You guys quit complaining. You go create the atmosphere. You go create the momentum. So you can just tell from that alone, there's a little something extra this week with Alabama and the Crimson Tide getting their rematch.
I absolutely agree. I think that little nervous energy comes more from the coaching staff than the players.
Right.
I think the players are ready to go. And you're a competitor. You want to get that taste out of your mouth, and you want to let those guys know they shouldn't have beat you. And unless they brought the same reps they did last year, they're not going to.
All you guys that are hanging out with us on the YouTube channel, Roll Tide, all the great comments, John Smith and Justin Summerlin and D. Tider.
17.
Yeah, all you guys. Adam, man, Roll Tide, Iceman, I know you're hanging out with us right now.
I don't like the 30-17.
Bama Tailgate YouTube channel or across the state of Alabama on radio like we do each and every Alabama Saturday. Guys, this is what we've been waiting for, though. I mean, last year, Alabama and Tennessee, both significant. This year, they're both in the mix, too. Tennessee with one loss. They've got a good defense. Their offense has struggled. Alabama's got a good defense. Their offense has struggled. These teams are very similar.
Speaking of Alabama's defense, Malachi Moore probably coming back.
He's back.
He'll be back. And then getting the help there with them. Our defense is going to come correct. Their defense is statistically helped out by some of the teams they played. And watching some teams that are an enigma on offense, like Florida, what they were able to do to Tennessee, I'm not sold that they're as good as their stats. And I think Alabama, you've seen the O-line get a little better and better. You saw Saban actually talking about some of the O-linemen, freshman in particular, this past week. I think that this O-line is starting to come together a little better. You're going to see the running game work a little better. You'll still make some deep shots. But I think Bama's about to truck these fools.
Okay.
I like truck these fools.
I like it.
He's coming in hot.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Tennessee.
Yeah.
I would rather sleep under Toomer's corner than hear their version of Rocky Top. Now, I got to say, Brandon Walker, the great Wayne Mills, they have a pretty good version, too, that I don't mind.
The Wayne
But,
Mills
yeah,
version.
it's on YouTube. I'll let y'all look. While you're on here, when you get done, flip over to it.
Pour it out for Wayne.
Yeah.
The deal is you're right, Coleman. It's all about the offensive line for Alabama because Jalen Milroe has one of the best deep balls in America. He's very average at the 10-yard shallow cross. And that's where interceptions can come into play because he misses a guy. You've got a linebacker or a safety who steps up. You've got a tipped pass where it just flutters in the air. But he has an amazing deep ball.
Yeah.
So if you give him the extra 1 second in the pocket, Milroe can burn you deep. So that's really the challenge. And I said this against Texas A&M. Tommy Reese didn't do it in the first drive. He did it the rest of the game. Throw it deep early to set up the run because you're going to be able to torch these guys in the secondary. It's the trenches that'll be the battle. So if you can just get, especially with the home crowd, if you throw that first punch. Remember against Texas? The first punch was from Texas because they had a pick.
Right.
But it was on a short pass that he couldn't read.
And help.
But if he goes deep and you can hit 1 or 2 deep balls early and you get the crowd going, then Alabama will have a chance to really
You want that 2005 Florida, Tyron Prothro, 80 yards from the jump.
Play action deep. I mean, it was the only time Mike Shula ever did it in his career.
Yeah.
But it was beautiful.
Yeah.
That's what Alabama needs to do.
The Bama Football Tailgate Show is brought to you by Pearl River Resort and Casino in Choctaw. Now's a great time to make your picks count at the Timeout Sports Lounge right there in Philadelphia, Mississippi. When we come back, we're going to talk more Alabama and Tennessee. The original Bama Football Tailgate Show rolls on right after this.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Alabama's ultimate sports destination and a place for outdoor enthusiasts to thrive. It's a community rooted in history and one that's on the cusp of a burgeoning art scene too. Tuscaloosa is vibrant, it's charming, and it's familiar. Its people welcome you with open arms and warm hellos into a community that's tied together. Tuscaloosa is our home.
Barry Buckner for
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hi, Barry Buckner. It all adds up. Every time a Tuscaloosa Hyundai customer refers a friend or family member to come see us, we are truly grateful. I compare it to doubling a penny for 30 days. Believe it or not, by day 30, that one penny is over $5 million. Now that's adding up. I remind every Tuscaloosa Hyundai team member, it's only a satisfied customer who will give you a referral. That ultimate compliment earned by effort and excellence. And Tuscaloosa Hyundai has all the tools. A new vehicle lineup to meet any driving need. Premium pre-owned under 100,000 miles that we stand behind with our exclusive million-mile warranty. Award-winning service, a company that values being named best of the best by our community. But above all, we are sincere in earning the trust that leads to a customer referral. And trust is priceless. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. Tuscaloosa Hyundai, corner of Skyland and Hargrove, TuscaloosaHyundai.com.
Hey, this is Reagan, owner of R&R Cigars, the Cigar Mansion in downtown Tuscaloosa, located at 2703 6th Street across from the Home 2 Suites. Come down to R&R and see why we're the ultimate cigar and bourbon experience. With over 165 bourbons and 5 private barrels, our selection of bourbon is unmatched. We have the best cocktails around and our cigar selection is legendary. Our lounge and service are world-class. Come and experience the luxury of the mansion and see why it's a world-renowned cigar and spirits destination.
Check out Pawn Royale at 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport. The summer season is almost over. Time to go to Pawn Royale and find some amazing deals. Right now, our lawn and gardening inventory must go. That includes mowers, trimmers, blowers, chainsaws, you name it. Pawn Royale has deals on everything. Many items at cost or less. If you're in the market, come make a deal. That's Pawn Royale, 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You've heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Unique on the Strip. It's the best place to watch sports.
You're not even kidding. 11 TVs, NFL and MLB package, NHL, EPL, and so much more. If you want a game, they have it.
Now they're doing weekly NFL Pick'em, winners every Sunday, and grand prizes on Super Bowl Sunday.
And we haven't even mentioned the drink specials.
Of course they have daily drink specials. You can see them on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Unique T-Town every day.
Unique on the Strip. The best place to watch sports in Tuscaloosa.
This is My Great Escape,
where there's real gaming excitement.
And I can be who I want to be.
In a sea of slots. Taking in the big pots.
And always doubling down.
Our friends ask, what do y'all do at Pearl River Resort? No work.
All play.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Just keeping it real, baby.
Real players.
Real winning.
Real fun.
At Pearl River Resort.
Back out at Innisfree here in Tuscaloosa, getting you ready for Alabama and Tennessee. If you're coming to town, roll tide, everybody. Always great to talk to you here on the Bama Football Tailgate Show. And check us out on our YouTube channel, Bama Tailgate on YouTube, for daily coverage of the Crimson Tide with Chad Anderson. Chris Coleman from the Colemerica Podcast. I'm Mick Gillispie. Show's brought to you by Yuengling Larger. The remote's presented by Skrewball, the original peanut butter whiskey. Chad, I'm going to try to entice you with a Skrewball shot at some point. Coleman doesn't drink when he's working, so he's got a lot of stuff going on at Unique on the Strip. All right, Alabama against Tennessee. Let's just get into this. You're kind of breaking it down. Tennessee might have the better running back of the guys that are playing right now. Jalen Wright, their running back, ran for over 125 yards against Texas A&M last week. They have trouble throwing the ball, but their offensive line's pretty good too. Alabama's got their work cut out for them.
I 100% agree. I believe in our defense. I think our defense is elite, and I think they'll be up to the task. But they're going to have to be up to the task because Tennessee's O-line is very good. I'm interested to see what type of blitz packages we put together for this and what we come with there to get pressure when they do try and throw.
Yeah, when you look at Tennessee and what they've done in the rushing game, you go back to last year. Remember Hendon Hooker just slinging it all over the field? Of course, he had Jalen Hyatt. That helps you sling it all over the field. But when you're looking at Tennessee's rushing attack, I mean, how often would you think that this was the case? They've had 3 games already in their 6-game schedule that have had 40 rush attempts or more.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And even though the offense goes fast, you think Tennessee and with Josh Heupel and what he does, and you think chuck it all over, spread them out, get the receivers all the way to the boundary, expand the defense, get them on islands, and then just toss it around. And Tennessee's completely changed this year. And it's really a credit to Heupel, even though we hate Tennessee, because he has adjusted to the personnel. And when you look at their balance, Tennessee this year, 212 yards on average through the air per game, 231 on the ground per game. So they've completely leveled off in the ways they can attack you.
And that is like you say, you have to give him credit for that because that's what, coaches should always do is evaluate your talent and put them in the best position to win. Not just this is my system. I couldn't make it. He couldn't make it. But at the same time, I think that what they're doing this year plays into our defense's hands. And I don't think they're going to be as successful.
Right, and that's what I look at with the line being 8.5 or 9 is I feel like Vegas is saying Nick Saban has always stopped the run. I mean, I can think of one game where they didn't. Ohio State, 2014 in the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
For the most part, Alabama and Nick Saban have always been able to take the run away. This defensive line for the Crimson Tide is pretty good. I don't honestly, I feel like they're a little underrated. But they've done a good job of run stopping. They did that against Texas A&M. There were a couple big plays, but nothing big that really hurt you too much. And I feel like if Alabama makes Joe Milton one-dimensional, Tennessee's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when you go back and look, Alabama last year, and you're going to laugh because I do this almost every show we do, but this is a different mindset of a defense with Alabama under Kevin Steele than it was with Pete Golding.
Yeah,
these guys, these guys, like Goldman was saying, they bring different looks, different schemes, different kinds of blitzes. Alabama has as many interceptions already this year than they had all of last year. Yep. And Alabama also plays more physical on the outside. So you got Terrion Arnold, who has a full year of experience as a freshman, now a sophomore. Malachi Moore is an absolute stud. Jalen Key, who's the other? Caleb Downs, the sensational freshman who committed to Alabama over, Texas and Georgia that he took Bama over. And Alabama has now played that more punch you in the mouth on the islands. And that's what Tennessee ran into last year. That's why I feel good about today, is because when you look at last year, Tennessee was cruising, right? They go up against Georgia in Athens, and everybody said, oh, can't wait to see the unstoppable force and the immovable object, right? So they go to that game. Georgia holds them to their season low in points. And the reason is because Georgia said, you know what, we're going to punch you straight in the face mask. We're going to play physical on the receivers, force you to run it, force you to throw it. And Tennessee didn't know what to do, and they couldn't handle it. Alabama played soft last year. You're different defense, different scheme. And I'm excited to see what they do against Milton and the receivers.
You're going to see a similar type game of what you were describing with that Georgia-Tennessee.
Yeah, I believe so.
But it's Utah and USC. Utah's going to punch USC. If you're looking for an upset, watch Utah. Take a money line. They're going to win that game for the 4th year in a row. The upset's not here today. Alabama and Bryant Denny, no, sir.
Here's the issue I have with Alabama, though, is first off, between Jalen Milroe and the offensive line and the running backs, the sacks have got to stop. I don't care who's playing left tackle or whatever. I mean,
true freshman.
Yes, whoever.
You got to give him a little learning curve. He's still a freshman.
They've got to get rid of the football faster. Those guys got to block.
Got to snap the ball, Mick,
and the snap too.
That's what I was going to say.
That's McLaughlin's been the biggest.
The pre-snap penalties. The pre-snap penalties are my biggest complaint. I'm sure Nick agrees with me.
Yeah, and I don't know his dad, but don't give me the cadence crap.
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
like
right.
I'm sorry if you're a center for Alabama. I don't care, especially 7 games in.
Yeah.
You got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Right? There's no excuse when you're in the final game before November.
Right.
Figure it out.
I agree.
That's all it is.
Yeah, look, it's the 3rd week in October. There are no excuses in this game.
No.
None.
Zero.
That's one of the things, and the other thing is you got to get the ball to the playmakers.
Yeah.
You know, when Alabama went to Texas A&M, Jermaine Burton got the ball and he delivered. I think the receivers have done a really good job of catching passes this year, something that we didn't see the last 2 seasons consistently.
Well, I can somewhat agree with that.
Consistently.
2 seasons ago, maybe a little different than last season. But I think last season, we didn't. And I think part of that also is you got another new coordinator on that side too. Let's talk about the way it's not just calling the plays, it's when you call what play,
right.
Setting up other things. It's playing chess, not checkers. And I feel like we've done much better than that. By the way, we were talking earlier about our defense changing. How's Ole Miss's defense doing this year?
Ole Miss's defense.
Yeah, how are they doing over there? Yeah.
It's going to take
Just
another
curious.
This guy, I'm
gonna keep taking shots at him.
I was on a radio show in Knoxville. My good buddy Tyler Ivins had me on his show, and he asked me what we think of Kevin Steele. And I'm like, I think everybody loves him.
I think he simplified things, and at the end of the day, it's all about it's more important for your guys to know what they're doing and play fast and play hard than to have an elaborate scheme. And I think that's what he does. I think that's what Kirby does.
Yeah, and I want to give Kevin Steele a ton of credit for this year because it's not that easy to change mindset overnight in one off season. So one, he did that. 2, Kevin Steele did it with his back against the wall. And what I mean by that is the whole off season, Alabama fans sat around and talked about Jeremy Pruitt. I'm not saying I wasn't excited about Jeremy Pruitt being a defensive coordinator.
The old Tennessee coach.
Everybody did. Everybody wanted Pruitt, right? It was a done deal. He would have been Hoover getting a Mercedes or something, you know. Now he's a PE teacher. And everybody loves Pruitt. There's no denying what he can do on defense. But from Kevin Steele's point of view, that poor guy deserves a lot of credit for changing the mindset in the offseason and dealing with a fan base that wasn't excited about him coming in and what he's done now through the first part.
We all thought he was going to be part of it, you know?
Yeah, and I think that that one of the biggest things for me, the biggest change on the defense is the secondary. They hit, they tackle. Yeah, and I was from the first game, I was excited to see that, and I love that you can't throw a screen pass and know you're going to get 15 yards because our guys will come up and hit.
Here's one thing I love real quick on a defensive note, stat-wise. Bama's played 7 games. Only 1 of those 7 have they allowed total offense over 306 yards, and that was against Texas.
Yeah.
So you take Steve Sarkisian out of the schedule, the other 6 games, and that includes Lane Kiffin.
Right.
Okay. Those other 6 games, Alabama has not given up a total of more than 306.
I want to say I think Alabama's defense is legit. I think that I love where they're at. We still need to improve and work to get better. You know, follow the process. It's good. Yeah. The process is good. I've seen it work. But we haven't faced the best offense we're going to face yet. And so we've got to continue to prepare because that's LSU.
That's next.
Well, let's not look that far ahead. But what I will say,
I'm not overlooking Tennessee ever.
But what I do want people to know is that as they come to Tuscaloosa for this football game, Unique on the Strip is a great place to go hang out. You tell them everything you got going on, Coleman.
Oh, we got a lot. I mean, it's Saturday, so all the football in the world. Sundays, we have the NFL package. All the games on open by 11 a.m. You've got ALCS, NLCS. You've got European soccer. You've got everything. I'll actually be open every Saturday by by 9 a.m. Even next week, bye week, open by 9 a.m. Because English Premier League, Bundesliga, all that's on, leads you right into college game day and then into college football all day long. If you like sports, if you like throwing darts, if you like attractive people, and that's my staff, not me. I do not look like my staff.
Well, look, coming up, we got Andrew Bone. We got Tom Abraham from 97.7 The Zone. We got Chris Lowe. We got a big show for you, so don't go anywhere. Great to see you, Chris Coleman.
Yes, sir. Thank
Chat,
y'all.
Stick around. More of the original Bama Football Tailgate Show coming up right after this.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hi, Barry Buckner. It all adds up. Every time a Tuscaloosa Hyundai customer refers a friend or family member to come see us, we are truly grateful. I compare it to doubling a penny for 30 days. Believe it or not, by day 30, that one penny is over $5 million. Now that's adding up. I remind every Tuscaloosa Hyundai team member, it's only a satisfied customer who will give you a referral. That ultimate compliment earned by effort and excellence. And Tuscaloosa Hyundai has all the tools. A new vehicle lineup to meet any driving need. Premium pre-owned under 100,000 miles that we stand behind with our exclusive million-mile warranty. Award-winning service, a company that values being named best of the best by our community. But above all, we are sincere in earning the trust that leads to a customer referral. And trust is priceless. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. Tuscaloosa Hyundai, corner of Skyland and Hargrove, TuscaloosaHyundai.com.
Hey, this is Reagan, owner of R&R Cigars, the Cigar Mansion in downtown Tuscaloosa, located at 2703 6th Street across from the Home 2 Suites. Come down to R&R and see why we're the ultimate cigar and bourbon experience. With over 165 bourbons and 5 private barrels, our selection of bourbon is unmatched. We have the best cocktails around, and our cigar selection is legendary. Our lounge and service are world-class. Come and experience the luxury of the mansion and see why it's a world-renowned cigar and spirits destination.
Check out Pawn Royale at 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport. The summer season is almost over. Time to go to Pawn Royale and find some amazing deals. Right now, our lawn and gardening inventory must go. That includes mowers, trimmers, blowers, chainsaws, you name it. Pawn Royale has deals on everything. Many items at cost or less. If you're in the market, come make a deal. That's Pawn Royale, 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Unique on the Strip. It's the best place to watch sports.
You're not even kidding. 11 TVs, NFL and MLB package, NHL, EPL, and so much more. If you want a game, they have it.
Now they're doing weekly NFL Pick'em, winners every Sunday, and grand prizes on Super Bowl Sunday.
And we haven't even mentioned the drink specials.
Of course they have daily drink specials. You can see them on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Unique T-Town every day.
Unique on the Strip. The best place to watch sports in Tuscaloosa.
This is my great escape.
Where there's real gaming excitement.
And I can be who I want to be.
In a sea of slots. Taking in the big pot.
And always doubling down.
Our friends ask, what do y'all do at Pearl River Resort? No work.
All play.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Just keeping it real, baby.
Real players.
Real winning.
Real fun.
At Pearl River Resort.
Welcome back to the original Bama Football Tailgate Show, previewing Alabama and Tennessee, the annual third Saturday in October showdown. And it's actually the third Saturday in October this year as number 11 Alabama takes on number 18 Tennessee. But before we get there, let me remind you guys that this segment with our friend Tom Abraham from 97.7 ESPN The Zone and the Tailgate Show is always presented to you by Visit Sevierville. Now's a good time to visit Sevierville and get a real good feel of the mountains.
See yourself in Sevierville, Tennessee. Your Smokies start here.
All right, Tom, let's talk some Alabama. Let's talk some Tennessee. The Volunteers not too far from Sevierville. They play out of Knoxville, but they'll be in Tuscaloosa when they take on Alabama today. Both of these teams coming off of tight wins on Saturday. Alabama had the big lead against Arkansas, and they almost let it slip away. And I think a lot of people alarmed by the way that the Crimson Tide played. And then Tennessee, beat Texas A&M. They really didn't move the ball well, but they had a punt return for a touchdown and played great defense. Let's start with Alabama. Your thoughts on the way that game finished, and should we be alarmed?
Alarmed? I don't know that I would be alarmed. I mean, they were up 21-3 at the half, or 21-6 at the half, and they let off the gas, as you say. Some curious play calling again as we try to get Tommy Rees. By the way, Rees is spelled R-E-E-S. All of you guys, you keyboard warriors that are criticizing Tommy Rees every week, spell his name right at least. If you're going to criticize the guy, at least spell his name right. He's not Reese Davis, R-E-C-E. It's not Reese's Pieces. There's no E at the end of it. It's R-E-E-S. And, in the second half, there was a point in time where Jalen Milroe was 1 of 11. And they were running the ball well. They were running the ball the best they've run it with the running backs all season long. Why did they stop running the ball? And in that first drive of the second half, they run it right down the field, and they get that 3rd and 3 down there at the 14, 15-yard line, whatever it was. And they go with a low percentage pass. It didn't make any sense. I'm thinking, you know what? Keep pounding the rock. Right. If you don't get it on 3rd down, you're going to have nothing left on 4th down. You do it twice if you have to, and just pound it in, make it a 28-6 game, and you're off and running. So I thought that was a little curious that they didn't run the ball more in the second half. And I think emotionally they let up a little bit. But I also think that serves them very well going into the preparation for today, because all week long, that the theme has been finish, finish, finish. Now, if they had gone in there and blown Arkansas out by 41-10 or something like that, who knows? These guys might have thought that we're a thing and we could just throw our jerseys out there and beat Tennessee. I guarantee you it was a very active week this past week of practice getting ready for Tennessee.
Yeah, I feel like that too. And I mean, look, last year's game, 52-49. I had a few problems with the officiating, but also Alabama didn't do a whole lot to help themselves with all those penalties in that football game. And then Tennessee, I felt like they really rubbed it in. And maybe after 15 years, that's what you do. But if you're Alabama, there's a lot of extra motivation because of that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think that, one thing about Alabama is they've never rushed the field, right? Because Bear Bryant said we expect to win the game. You always expect to win the game, so you don't rush the field. Alabama has never rushed the field. Mm-mm. They're not tearing goalposts down. They're not going to throw the goalposts into Warrior River when if they beat Tennessee. It's just not the way they roll. But having said that, for Tennessee, there was a bigger release of emotion. I know one thing: this isn't going to be a 52-49 game. I'm not sure it's going to be 2005. Remember the 6-3, Rocky Stop game? I don't think it's going to be 6-3, but this game has slobber knocker written all over it. It's amazing to me how different these two teams are this year than they were last year, and how similar they are this year. Whereas Tennessee's, they're running the ball great. They're 6th in the nation rushing the ball. They're playing defense. You believe that? Defense with Tennessee and Josh Heupel. It's the first game Josh Heupel ever won against a P5 team that he scored less than 30 points in. I mean, Josh Heupel doesn't win 20-13 games. So there's a lot of things, a lot of similarities here. I'm kind of stunned at the line that is maintained 8.5-point favorite for Alabama, because they don't feel like they don't blow anybody really out. And it would seem like these two teams both play great defense, both want to run the ball. Neither one of them can throw it very good. At least Alabama can throw it deep. Joe Milton, if you need to throw it 80 yards, Joe Milton will throw it 80 yards. If you need to throw it 15 yards, Joe Milton will throw it 80 yards. So he's not the most accurate guy out there, but it's really interesting how these two teams are so similar, and I'm expecting a slobber knocker today.
Yeah, well, they're similar because their quarterbacks have kind of had issues. Obviously, Milton doesn't have the targets that Hooker had last year. They've had some injuries. So the wide receiver talent favors Alabama, which is hard to believe when you think about Tennessee and what Josh Heupel wants to do. And you're right, this is a different Tennessee team. They're going to try to run the football, and they did. They ran all over Texas A&M, which is surprising because Alabama couldn't do that. But then you look at Milroe, and he takes all these sacks. Offensive line's part of it. Running backs not blocking are part of it. But also part of it's his fault. He holds the ball too long. He doesn't pick up blitzes very fast, so he takes a lot of heat. And the other thing, Tom, some people that I talk to say that I could be right. Some people are saying maybe I'm in the wrong spot. I think that Milroe has some kind of a leg injury that is slowing him down. I don't see the explosiveness. They're not running the ball with him anymore. Even when he's chased out of the pocket, he doesn't look fast. I've talked to people that say, hey, maybe it's a shoulder. I feel like it's a hamstring or something down in the leg. Are you noticing that too, or am I just crazy?
No. I think there was rumor of that a couple of weeks ago. I think he's had some sort of strain in a leg it's a lower body thing, whatever it is, and he hasn't had that same explosiveness. Now we'll see, what he can do running the ball. I mean, I think he's the key to the whole game. I think this is a Milroe Milton thing. Which one of these guys will get loose on a big run, maybe on a big scramble, a key third down that they convert, a 3rd and 18 that all of a sudden is first down. Milton has shown an ability to run a little bit more recently. And then if they can protect, the big matchup here is that defensive front of Tennessee against that offensive line that's been a sieve at times for Alabama. If that offensive line can give Milroe some time, if they can hit a couple of big ones down the field, that seems to be the thing that they do, each and every week. But I agree that Milroe I think he's responsible for half the 31 sacks. I really do. And here's the deal. People are going to continue to put 7 and 8 guys in the box. They're going to continue to rush 7 and play man-to-man behind until he starts hitting some hot reads. Until he hits a slant behind the blitz quick and reads it, or hits a back that's wide open in the flat because they sent 7 and they left a couple of guys wide open, or left a running back that could leak out. Until he burns them, they're going to just line up and say, we're coming after you. Let's see what you got, big boy. And that's what they're doing. And defenses are doing to him. And, he's got to make them pay. And we'll see if he can do it starting today.
Malachi Moore going to be back for Alabama on defense. That's got to help them some, but not the way that we would have expected, right? Where you're expecting a lot of passing. This is going to be a grinded out physical football game. Tennessee's going to try to run, but I feel like that plays into Alabama's strength, stopping the run.
Yeah, Alabama's pretty good at stopping the run. There's no doubt about it. Their front seven's been good. Malachi Moore will be a big part of that. He does play near the line of scrimmage a lot out of his position, and he is that kind of that alley runner type guy. Everybody has a gap responsibility, and then you have that safety or whatever your star bandit, whatever you want to call him in your nomenclature. He's the alley runner. That's the guy that will fill the gaps and make the play. So I think that'll be a big help. But that's a huge part of this game. That good rush offense, running offense of Tennessee, and can Alabama slow them down and make them semi one-dimensional? If you can keep them they average 206 yards a game. So if you can keep them to 110 or 120 and they have to throw, then you're going to have some success. But again, what do I say every week? Survive in advance. That's exactly what happened against Arkansas. Survive in advance. That's this game. They might not cover the spread. Doesn't matter. Keep winning football games, and somehow, some way, get yourself to Atlanta. And maybe you see Georgia over there. You expect to see Georgia over there. They won't deny them. That's when the playoffs will start for Alabama. So it really doesn't matter how pretty it is. This is Gene Stallings football. This is 1992. Survive in advance.
All right, last thing before we head to the second half of the show. It just feels like Nick Saban's program is slid back. Tennessee's is taking a step forward. I mean, I still think Alabama's a little bit above Tennessee. Do you think it's the NIL, the transfer portal, or Nick Saban, is he losing his touch? But why is Alabama digressing? It's slow, but it's happening.
It's happened some. Look, you can't hit. They're still recruiting at a super high level. I mean, their recruiting classes are always one or two in the country, so they're still getting elite talent. But you can't continue to hit year in and year out on all of these guys. The Alabama fans got very spoiled at how Alabama was able to not only recruit at a high level, but then development is still a very big thing. And they've had an incredible amount of staff turnover over the years. So how many times in a row are you going to get the right offensive coordinator and the right defensive coordinator, and then the talent turns out to be great? Now, we know there's a litany of names that Alabama has recruited, that were supposed to be. It got Blake Barnett, oh my gosh, Blake Barnett, this was the guy, and Jalen Hurts took over 2 series in, and we know what happened there. Josh Jacobs comes in as the last guy to get a scholarship, and he ends up being an outstanding contributor. So there's still that wild card of bringing in 17, 18, and 19-year-old kids. I don't think they've slipped nearly as far as some people think. It's just the standard is so ridiculously high. What happens if they drop this game today? What happens if they, still get to Atlanta and lose the SEC championship game and win a bowl game? Oh my God, 11-3, or 10-3, whatever it would be. I mean, that's the world coming to an end. It's just a different standard that we're holding them to. The discipline issue is a problem. That's the question that I have. That's the only thing, because that is still on Nick Saban. He's the one that's responsible for his team to not be making bad penalties. They only had 5 against Arkansas, but 2 resulted in first downs for Arkansas. So that's like a turnover, when that happens. Don't make those silly mistakes, and certainly remember last year, 17 penalties, as you mentioned, up in Neyland Stadium. They had 15 penalties, I think, at Baton Rouge last year. Those 2 games that they lost, penalty ridden. There's no excuse for it today. They're in their own building. No excuse for pre-snap penalties or any of that stuff. And if they play clean football, they're going to win a football game. It might not be what y'all want. It might not be 40-10, but it will be a win if they can play clean football.
Third Saturday in October is brought to you by Sevierville, 4 self-guided tours that take you through the back roads and historical points of interest, and check out the beautiful fall views with maps and videos and everything else at visitsevierville.com/fall. Always great to talk to Tom Abraham, host of the Tom Abraham Show, every single day on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Roll Tide, my friend. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, man. Roll Tide.
Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, has been making beer in America for 6 generations. And for nearly 200 years, we've been all about bringing the good times. By hand, by foot, by bike, by bikers, by fanny pack or jetpack, by whatever means necessary. With Yuengling Traditional Lager, good times taste even better. Yuengling, bring the goods.
Autumn brings vivid colors to the back roads and hollows of Sevierville, Tennessee. Wind your way to quaint country churches, a historic covered bridge, and even a pick-your-own apple orchard. This fall, the best views are yours on Sevierville's Rocky Flats Fall Driving Tour. Learn more and find additional fall drives to enjoy at visitsevierville.com/fall.
Immerse yourself in the continuing dynasty of Alabama football with The Legacy Continues, a visually striking image from artist Daniel A. Moore. This sequel to Moore's 1992 sold-out painting, The Crimson Legacy, features iconic moments and memorabilia from the last 30 seasons of Tide football. Don't miss your opportunity to own this lasting tribute sure to be cherished by Bama fans for years to come. Pre-order The Legacy Continues now at DanielMooreArt.com.
Hey y'all, it's Jennifer from the Floribama, and we're excited that football is back. The Floribama is proud to support Alabama football, and we invite you to join us at Floribama Over Grill for a game day experience like no other. We have over 40 TVs and a brand new game day menu that includes endless wings, Santa Fe egg rolls, street corn nachos, and so much more. Bring your friends and join us for all the college and NFL games. Floribama's Old River Grill, open at 11 a.m. daily, right across the street from the world-famous Floribama.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Tuscaloosa is Alabama's ultimate sports destination and a place for outdoor enthusiasts to thrive. It's a community rooted in history and one that's on the cusp of a burgeoning art scene too. Tuscaloosa is vibrant, it's charming, and it's familiar. Its people welcome you with open arms and warm hellos into a community that's tied together. Tuscaloosa is our home.
This is My Great Escape,
where there's real gaming excitement.
And I can be who I want to be.
In a sea of slots. Taking in the big pot.
And always doubling down.
Our friends ask, what do y'all do at Pearl River Resort? No work.
All play.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Just keeping it real, baby.
Real players.
Real winning.
Real fun.
At Pearl River Resort.
Welcome back to the original Bama Football Tailgate Show as we get you ready for Tennessee and Alabama, the third Saturday in October showdown, the 106th meeting between these two schools. Bama had their 15-game winning streak snapped last year in Neyland, and now Tennessee comes to Tuscaloosa to try to make it 2 in a row against the Crimson Tide. Our show is brought to you by Yuengling Larger, America's oldest brewery, and presented as we talk to you, our show remote at Innisfree from Skrewball, the original peanut butter whiskey. And this segment with Andrew Bone is gladly brought to you by New Life Art. Daniel Moore, he's got the Daniel Moore prints. I got the Daniel Moore prints. We'll talk about the newest print that's just out, but use the promo code Bama Tailgate when you pick up your next print at newlifeart.com. Bone, great to see you. Lot going on in the world of recruiting. Congratulations on being a new dad. Caden Jones. So let's start there. Caden Jones with Nick Saban. He got him all to himself. How crazy is that?
Yeah, Caden Jones, 4-star linebacker commitment out of North Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina, 6'4", 220 pounds. Took his official visit to Alabama this past weekend for the Arkansas game. And he was the only official visitor. Now, this weekend, Alabama will have a couple official visitors. Zay Mincy out of Mainland High School in Daytona Beach, Florida, top 100 safety, and Justin Okenroa out of Germany, the German linebacker commitment for the Crimson Tide. So I have 2 on campus this weekend, plus a lot of other unofficial visitors. We'll get into a couple of those guys. But, Caden was the lone official last weekend. He committed to Alabama back during the spring. Been very solid commitment. He told me the other night that one of the only schools that has still been really reaching out to him, trying to get him to visit is Southern Cal. So they've been trying to get him in for a visit, but he says he's not taking any other trips. He's actually going to be back in Tuscaloosa this weekend for the Tennessee game. Very locked in with his commitment, but really enjoyed the experience with Coach Saban over at his house. Said he rode the Gators with him, hung out down by the lake. shot some hoops with him on the basketball court. Said it was just a unique experience, unique fun experience for him and his family. So that was a great story that we had on Bama Online the other day. But he's going to be back in Tuscaloosa, and there's going to be a lot of other big names in NT Town this weekend as well.
Yeah, let's talk about who's going to be there, who's there today, who's going to be there talking to Alabama. The game's at 2:30. And all of a sudden, Tennessee is one of those schools now that is in the mix for some of these guys. For years, Tennessee really wasn't able to recruit at Alabama and Georgia's level, but give them credit. They've found their way back in the conversation again. I don't know how that plays into this weekend and today's game, but who's there and what should we expect?
Yeah, so we had a story on Bama Online the other day about some of the biggest recruiting battles between Alabama and Tennessee. Now, all those guys aren't in Tuscaloosa this weekend. There's going to be a few of them. Daniel Hill, 4-star running back out of Meridian High School in Mississippi. He came out a couple weeks ago and named Alabama, Tennessee, and South Carolina as his top 3 schools, which had kind of been an Alabama-South Carolina battle for the last several months, but took an official to Tennessee last month. Had a great time up there. They're really pushing hard. But he's visited Alabama just so many times. I think he was almost at every Alabama home game last season. This is going to be his 3rd Alabama game this fall already. So we know that Alabama is looking like they're in a pretty good position with Daniel Hill. Has not made a decision time frame just yet. But he's certainly a guy that we're going to be keeping a close eye on. Steve Mbamua out of Quebec City in Canada is actually going to be making a return trip to Tuscaloosa this weekend. Now, this is a kid that is 6'3", 265 pounds. Recruited, he kind of plays that jack linebacker position for his high school team, rushing off the edge, but recruited mainly as a defensive lineman. Now, Tennessee was a school that he went to their camp, but they're just not really a big factor in his recruitment right now. But Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Auburn, Mississippi State, all top contenders for him. But getting him back on campus for an unofficial visit this weekend, pretty big for Alabama because he's going to come back in December for an official visit. And then one other guy I'll mention, and this isn't an Alabama-Tennessee battle, but one intriguing prospect that's going to be on campus this weekend is Texas A&M linebacker commitment Tristan Jernigan. He is a 6'1", 215-pound inside linebacker out of Tupelo High School in Mississippi. He has been committed to the Aggies since the summer, but this is going to be his 2nd trip to Alabama this fall. We know things aren't necessarily going too great in College Station right now. There's a lot of people talking about Jimbo Fisher potentially on the hot seat. We've seen some decommitments from Texas A&M recently, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's on flip watch. I think Alabama is certainly a school that he likes a lot. He's going to continue to show some interest in. I think Alabama has a lot of interest in him. So the more they can get him on campus, potentially for an official visit a little bit down the road, they're going to have potentially a chance to flip him.
Oh, nice. So how's this overall recruiting class looking for Alabama right now?
Well, as of right now, top 5 class in the country, according to On3 Sports. Just got to hit on some key targets. You look on the offensive side of the ball, you've got a great class. You got the number 1 quarterback in the country committed to your program in Julian Saying. You have a couple 4-star wide receivers. You have, the number 1 tight end in the country, Caleb Odom. You have the number 1 and number 3 interior offensive lineman in the country committed. So what else can you do on the offensive side of the ball? I think the biggest thing is trying to add a running back. Can you get somebody like a Daniel Hill, into the mix? Can you go out and get a left tackle like Jordan Seaton, the number 1 offensive tackle in the country, who as of right now, has Alabama at the top of his list. But there's other schools that are heavily involved. He's at Oregon this weekend for an official visit. He's not going to make a decision until December. Then on defense, I think defensive line is certainly going to be an area where Alabama can still add a couple more guys. Do they potentially add another linebacker, maybe an inside guy like I mentioned with Tristan Jernigan, maybe an edge rusher? Those are some areas that they're still looking for some guys. And then defensive back wise, they have a great defensive back group, but Zay Mincy, as I mentioned earlier, on an official visit this weekend, that's one guy that they would at least save a spot for in case he wants to jump on board. So overall, it's a tremendous class yet again. You just got to fill out some remaining needs, and we'll be talking about this class, I'm sure, for a good while.
But I'm throwing this up here. This is the Legacy Continues by Daniel Moore, New Life Art. Do you remember the first one? This is like the last 30 years. Everybody had those. Do you remember the first one? Like every house. Did you have one in your bedroom? Like I feel like the first.
I remember having a smaller one when I was really young, and one of my best friends, I'll never forget walking into his house because I did at the time I didn't know if his family. It was like second grade. Not knowing. Is this guy a big Alabama fan? Because we were going to, my family was going to every Alabama football game, whether it was at home or on the road. They were always traveling, and then so you start hanging out with different friends when you're young. You're like, all right, you go to their house for the first time, and that was probably the one print that I remember walking into one of my best friends' houses and seeing the bigger Daniel Moore print sitting there. So I was like, I guess they're
this
bad.
Guy's a good guy. Yeah, he's a good guy. You knew it.
That buddy of mine, actually diehard Alabama fan all through elementary and high school, and ends up going to Auburn, and now now he acts like he was never an Alabama fan.
Don't ruin it for us, Bone.
Yeah, but I think his family. They're still big time.
Good people, but not as good as they were before. All right.
He was at Auburn during the really bad years for Alabama. So, he enjoyed the 4 years of beating Alabama during his time there.
Yeah, that's the legacy continues. Use the promo code Bama Tailgate, and when you spend $50, you get the Crimson and White calendar with that promo code for free. Bone, congratulations on being a dad again, and great to see you, my friend. And fingers crossed that the Crimson Tide figures it out, and then in 2 weeks, let's get back on here and talk before Alabama plays LSU.
Yeah, that's going to be a wild one too. So looking forward to it.
One game at a time, my friend. That's Andrew Bone from On 3, and we'll have more of the original Bama Football Tailgate Show right after this.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hi, Barry Buckner. It all adds up. Every time a Tuscaloosa Hyundai customer refers a friend or family member to come see us, we are truly grateful. I compare it to doubling a penny for 30 days. Believe it or not, by day 30, that one penny is over $5 million. Now that's adding up. I remind every Tuscaloosa Hyundai team member, it's only a satisfied customer who will give you a referral. That ultimate compliment earned by effort and excellence. And Tuscaloosa Hyundai has all the tools. A new vehicle lineup to meet any driving need. Premium pre-owned under 100,000 miles that we stand behind with our exclusive million-mile warranty. Award-winning service, a company that values being named best of the best by our community. But above all, we are sincere in earning the trust that leads to a customer referral, and trust is priceless. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. Tuscaloosa Hyundai, corner of Skyland and Hargrove, TuscaloosaHyundai.com.
Hey, this is Reagan, owner of R&R Cigars, the Cigar Mansion in downtown Tuscaloosa, located at 2703 6th Street across from the Home 2 Suites. Come down to R&R and see why we're the ultimate cigar and bourbon experience. With over 165 bourbons and 5 private barrels, our selection of bourbon is unmatched. We have the best cocktails around, and our cigar selection is legendary. Our lounge and service are world-class. Come and experience the luxury of the mansion and see why it's a world-renowned cigar and spirits destination.
Check out Pawn Royale at 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport. The summer season is almost over. Time to go to Pawn Royale and find some amazing deals. Right now, our lawn and gardening inventory must go. That includes mowers, trimmers, blowers, chainsaws, you name it. Pawn Royale has deals on everything. Many items at cost or less. If you're in the market, come make a deal. That's Pawn Royale, 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You've heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Unique on the Strip. It's the best place to watch sports.
You're not even kidding. 11 TVs, NFL and MLB package, NHL, EPL, and so much more. If you want a game, they have it.
Now they're doing weekly NFL Pick'em, winners every Sunday, and grand prizes on Super Bowl Sunday.
And we haven't even mentioned the drink specials.
Of course they have daily drink specials. You can see them on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Unique T-Town every day.
Unique on the Strip. The best place to watch sports in Tuscaloosa.
This is my great escape,
where there's real gaming excitement.
And I can be who I want to be.
In a sea of slots. Taking in the big pots.
And always doubling down.
Our friends ask, what do y'all do at Pearl River Resort? No work.
All play.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Just keeping it real, baby.
Real players.
Real winning.
Real fun.
At Pearl River Resort.
Always great to be joined by our friend Chris Lowe. This is the original Bama Tailgate Show, always brought to you by Yuengling Larger, and our remote at Innisfree in Tuscaloosa is presented by Skrewball, the original peanut butter whiskey. Alabama and Tennessee, that is a 2:30 kickoff at Bryant-Denny Stadium, and this segment is presented by Tuscaloosa Hyundai, the Elantra, the Sinatra, or an SUV like the Kona or the Tucson or Santa Fe. Tailgating doesn't get any better. Plus, no side stickers, and some of them are made right here in the state of Alabama. Tuscaloosa Hyundai, our friend Barry Buckner and the crew over on Skyland Boulevard and Hargrove. Go check them out, and if you need a car, they're the ones you need to go to first. Always great to see Chris Lowe from ESPN and talk college football with Chris. Alabama and Tennessee, you know this rivalry. I know this rivalry. I feel like this is one of the best in college football history. Chris, is this going to stay, or is the SEC going to eliminate this one when they change the scheduling format?
I don't think they're dumb enough to do that. I would hope they're not. I don't think any of us know what the schedule is going to look like long term. Now, like next year, it's the 24 as a quote unquote bridge schedule, and Bama and Tennessee are going to play that year. After that, I don't know what it's going to look like. And I think a lot of it depends, Mick, are we going to stay with 8 games in the league or 9 games? And there's a lot of people that want 9 games. Some want to stay at 8. So that'll be a little bit of a fight. Ultimately, it's going to come down to dollars and cents like everything else in college sports right now. Is how much more money is ESPN or whoever, TV rights holder, going to kick in to get a 9th game? And but I can't imagine that long-standing traditional rivalries like Alabama and Tennessee Georgia and Florida. Certainly Auburn, Alabama's not going away. But the ones, that Ole Miss and LSU, I can't. I just think the powers that be in the SEC are smarter than that, and we'll try to figure out a way to continue to play these games.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. If I'm making, the decisions here, if it's that, 3 regular opponent and then, rotating scheduling format, if I'm Alabama and it was reported that Nick Saban wasn't happy with this, I'd love to know what your take is or if you asked him. But it felt like Alabama had one of the toughest draws out there. You got to play Auburn, Tennessee, and LSU, and then, Tennessee's playing South Carolina and Vanderbilt every year, and you're in the same conference. I mean, that's just not even to me. And so maybe lopping off LSU and taking Mississippi State to me with Auburn and Tennessee would make things, a lot more even. You can't compare Tennessee to what they were over that stretch where they struggled, because this is a different university run by Randy Boyd and, with resources and everything else. I mean, and I'm guessing that's probably what they're looking at. Go, well, Tennessee hasn't been good, right?
Well, the problem when you start scheduling out, a decade or half a decade for that matter is, man, the college football is cyclical. And I think what they did is they looked at a metric over the last 10 years and tried to sort of put together a schedule in that 6-3 proposed format. If you go to a 9th game of balancing out that way. And if you go over the last 10 years, Tennessee's been a lower tier team in the league.
Right.
And I think that's the tricky part, Mick. I mean, where's Tennessee going to be 5 years from now? Where will Alabama be 5 years from now? South Carolina 10 years ago was winning 11 games for 3 straight years under Steve Spurrier, and finishing in the top 10 all 3 years. Well, the Gamecocks aren't a top 10 team right now. So that's the problem. And that's the misconception about these things. I understand where Nick Saban's coming from is, he sees LSU and Tennessee and Auburn every year on his schedule. He's like, wait a minute. Now, would Nick complain about that 5-6 years ago when Tennessee was sort of a bottom feeder? Probably not. So it's, and Auburn's sort of starting over under Hugh Freeze. But I think every 2 or 3 or 4 years, you're going to have schools for the most part. Alabama's been the exception. Georgia's been the exception that have a down cycle. And it's just hard when you're putting together schedules based on a 10-year metric or looking ahead 10 years or looking behind 10 years to make everything equal. Listen, nothing gets fans and coaches more up in arms than scheduling, because everybody, if you're that team, everyone's got an easier schedule than you. And what's the old saying in the SEC? Ain't nobody played anybody. And that's sort of what we've been hearing for 30 years. And I think we'll probably continue to hear that for 30 years. Here's my thing with OU and Texas coming aboard is I think they will work hard at making sure that scheduling in the SEC is more representative of a conference and that you don't go 10 years and not play anybody. Georgia still, i.e., not played a game at Kyle Field in Texas A&M. That's ridiculous. That's not representative. And that's not a shot at Georgia or at A&M. It's just it's the flaw in the schedule that you play. And I know in talking to Nick Saban, he says, listen, everybody that stays 4 years at a school, every player should have a chance to play everybody in that league home and away at least once. And I think that's the goal. In whatever schedule format they come up with, is that you get a chance to play everybody in your league, because right now that's not the case. What Georgia and Bama have played how many times in the regular season over the last 10 years? Not many.
Not many. Yeah.
That shouldn't be the case. Those have been the best 2 teams, certainly over the last 5 or 6 years. And even when Mark Richt was there, they averaged 10 wins a year. Those 2 teams should be playing more times than they have over the last decade.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, the scheduling is something that is, kind of weird. I mean, to think that Alabama doesn't play Georgia that much. Georgia hadn't been to Kyle Field and played A&M, and they've been in the conference for a while now. Is the SEC done expanding? I mean, should we expect just, the addition of Texas and Oklahoma, or could you see popping a couple more teams in here?
This is the way I'd answer that question. I don't think we've seen the end of movement in college football by a long shot, Mick. I don't know if that means the SEC is going to expand, if that means we're going to go to a super division of college football. But I don't think by a long shot we've seen the evolution or the changing of the guard, so to speak, and the landscape changing, I should say, in college football come to an end. I think it's going to continue to change. I think you just look at the ACC right now. You've got 3 schools publicly who voted to leave the ACC: Clemson, Florida State, and UNC.
Mm-hmm.
All 3 are saying, we want out. We're going to challenge the grant of rights in this league. Well, it tells you that those 3 are looking around. And you got to believe that they're not doing that unless they have some type of, wink and a handshake. I would say handshake, but some type of information from either the Big Ten or the SEC that they would consider them. I think it's probably more likely the Big Ten right now than the SEC. I think the SEC, we're going to expand. The 2 teams that would probably be at the top of their list would be North Carolina and Virginia, because they give them 2 new footprints, bigger TV markets per se. You get Charlotte, potentially the DC market, and 2 really academically prestigious schools. But I don't think either, in talking to Greg Sankey and people there in the SEC, that the SEC is out there actively looking to expand. But they will respond, they will react accordingly if things continue to sort of go haywire and everybody else is leaving and there are other teams dangling out there. They're not just going to sit on their hands. I don't think it'll matter 5 years from now. I think we're going to see college football probably governed differently, maybe not by the NCAA, with its own playoff, its own governance, its own commissioner. Some people don't think that we're headed in that direction, or maybe that we're not close to headed in that direction. But I talk to a lot of coaches and a lot of administrators who certainly think we are.
Really interesting. This is the 106th meeting between Alabama and Tennessee, and I find this to be my favorite rivalry, and I hope that it doesn't go anywhere. I don't think it will either. But the 3rd Saturday in October, the winner smokes cigars. That started back in the 60s, right? Bear Bryant, General Nealon, all the greats that have been on the sideline for both of these schools, these universities, want to win this football game. Tennessee won it a year ago. Both of these teams play great defense. They're both flawed at quarterback and on offense, but they're both dangerous. Your take on this matchup, what do you expect to see when Alabama and Tennessee kick off at 2:30?
Well, number one, just looking at the rivalry from 1,000 feet away, I'm glad that Tennessee finally won last year to make it more of a rivalry on the field. Because let's be honest, for the last 2 decades, it really hadn't been. Alabama has dominated this rivalry. For a rivalry to truly be special, both teams sort of have a responsibility to make it a rivalry on the field. And Tennessee had fallen short for much of the last 2 decades. I think this year, we have a chance for the first time to see a game that's sort of old school. It's a lower scoring game. It's going to come down to turnovers. It's going to come down to maybe who can run the football in key situations, who can protect on key drives better, protect your quarterback. I think back to some of those old school 1980s, 1990s Alabama Tennessee games, even that 2009 game. Lane Kiffin's on a year in Knoxville. I think this has a chance to be that kind of game. Now, as soon as I say that, Mick, somebody went 41-38.
Right.
But it certainly looks to be that way. Both teams rush the passer very well, get after the quarterback. Bama's been awful at protecting the passer. Tennessee has not had much of a passing game, period. Really, they were very fortunate to beat Texas A&M because they didn't throw the ball well at all, but they do run the ball. And I think that's the 2 areas that I look at is in these type games, or the 3 areas, the ability to run the football, the ability to get after the passer and affect the passer. And I think thirdly, the ability to finish games. When doing that, you got to be able to make big plays in the pass game on 3rd down. And then on the defensive side of it, you got to get off the field on 3rd down. Bama has not protected Milroe at all. At times he's held the ball too long and taken sacks. Tennessee gets after the passer. I think this is right. Tennessee's a top 10 team in sacks. Alabama's one of the worst 3 or 4 teams at protecting their quarterback. Bama does not run the ball, has not run the ball well at all. I was in College Station 2 weeks ago, and they won the game somehow with 23 rushing yards. Tennessee, on the other hand, does run the ball well. That's sort of been the staple of Josh Heupel is they get into that tempo, they get the defense sort of on the heels, and they run the ball with 3 running backs. So I think those are the 2 things to watch. And here's the third thing. Tennessee's not really proven that they can win big games on the road under Heupel. They did win at LSU last year, but in their last 3 really hostile environments, Mick, they were beaten pretty soundly. South Carolina last year, Georgia last year, and Florida this year. All those games, I was at the Florida game this year, and that was a really tough environment to play in, and Tennessee sort of melted. Well, I would guarantee you that Saturday there in Bryant-Denny will be a tough, loud environment. And I think the next step for this program, the Tennessee program, is to prove that they can win in one of those environments.
Chris, always great to see you. Where can people check out your work and what you got going on right now?
Well, I guess it's X now, Twitter, at CeeLo ESPN, and certainly ESPN.com as we go through the football season. But look forward to the game. I think it's a pretty evenly matched team, both who have flaws.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen them both in person this year, but 2 teams that are pretty physical and I think have a chance. I really think the winner of this game, Mick, has a chance to be in that playoff conversation in November. Clearly, Tennessee has to win. They've already lost a game, as has Alabama. But Tennessee's lost one in the conference. But the winner of this game, if they can continue to clean it up and hold serve, I think both the team that can get out of this game unscathed will be a team in November that they're at least talking about in the playoff conversation.
Awesome. Great talking with Chris Lowe. We're going to break down Alabama and Tennessee. The original Bama Football Tailgate Show rolls on right after this.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Alabama's ultimate sports destination and a place for outdoor enthusiasts to thrive. It's a community rooted in history and one that's on the cusp of a burgeoning art scene too. Tuscaloosa is vibrant, it's charming, and it's familiar. Its people welcome you with open arms and warm hellos into a community that's tied together. Tuscaloosa is our home.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Hey y'all, it's Jennifer from the Floribama, and it's time for Floribama Fun Facts. The Floribama first opened in 1964, and we're celebrating our 59th year of doing it on the line. We host over 150 events every year, including Mullet Toss, Oktoberfest, Halloween Costume Party, Frank Brown Songwriters, Thanksgiving and Christmas Potluck, the biggest New Year's Eve party, and of course, the Polar Bear Plunge on January 1st. All the events, including our live music schedule, are available online at floribama.com.
Immerse yourself in the continuing dynasty of Alabama football with The Legacy Continues, a visually striking image from artist Daniel A. Moore. This sequel to Moore's 1992 sold-out painting, The Crimson Legacy, features iconic moments and memorabilia from the last 30 seasons of Tide football. Don't miss your opportunity to own this lasting tribute sure to be cherished by Bama fans for years to come. Pre-order The Legacy Continues now at DanielMooreArt.com.
Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, has been making beer in America for 6 generations. And for nearly 200 years, we've been all about bringing the good times. By hand, by foot, by bike, by bikers, by fanny pack or jetpack, by whatever means necessary. With Yuengling Traditional Lager, good times taste even better. Yuengling, bring the goods.
R&R Cigars invites you to the Cigar Mansion in downtown Tuscaloosa. The best cigar selection and bourbon in the Southeast awaits you. 2703 6th Street, downtown Tuscaloosa, near Home 2 Suites, or Northport, next to Winn-Dixie. TheCigarMansion.com.
See yourself in Sevierville, Tennessee. Your Smokies start here.
This is My Great Escape,
where there's real gaming excitement.
And I can be who I want to be.
In a sea of slots. Taking in the big pots.
And always doubling down.
Our friends ask, what do y'all do at Pearl River Resort? No work.
All play.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Just keeping it real, baby.
Real players.
Real winning.
Real fun.
At Pearl River Resort.
Welcome back to the original Bama Football Tailgate Show. As we get you set for Alabama and Tennessee, our show is presented by Pearl River Resort, and so is this segment. Out there in Choctaw, Philadelphia, Mississippi, the Timeout Sports Lounge is your little slice of Vegas. Here in the South, about 2 hours from Birmingham, hour and a half from Tuscaloosa. They've got the ability. You got the ability out there to play all the table games and also wager on sporting events as well. And that is Pearl River Resort. Our show is also presented by Yuengling Larger, America's oldest brewery. And our remote today is brought to you by Skrewball, the original peanut butter whiskey. Always great to have these guys on with me. I'll start with our friend out in Vegas, the Wizard of Odds, Mr. Kenny White. Also, Kenny White's Power Ratings. How you doing, Kenny? And tell us about those Power Ratings.
Thank you, Mick. Yeah, you got all my favorite sponsors on there too now: Skrewball and Yuengling and R&R Cigars. Just that's a trifecta right there. That's a great night. I'm gonna go power rating wise. It's not just all about the power ratings. You do get the power ratings. $20 a month gets you college football, NFL, Major League Baseball, and hockey. But it's not just about the power ratings. You get the projections from each game, projected final scores for every game in college football, NFL, baseball, hockey, whatever sport it is. You also get projected win totals for every team. And now I've added pace stats for the NFL and college football, that you get to see each team's pace and how fast they snap the football in between plays, yards per play that are adjusted, and scoring. So yeah, a lot of good stuff there for just $19 a month or $20 a month.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Kenny. And then there's Reagan out in R&R Cigar, longtime partner of the show. But Reagan, you're on here picking games, and I'll tell you what, you have been a man of the media this week. Good to see that you found time to hang out with us.
Man, I mean, it's like radio, TV, all kinds of rivals. Our buddy Tony Sukalis.
Yep, Tony.
Yeah, there's something from AL.com coming out sometime. And I don't know, it'll probably be some last minute people. I don't know. Hopefully there'll be some last minute people. But it's cool. People like to talk about us this weekend. I guess, they like to talk about us a lot behind our backs, but that's a different story. But,
well, Reagan,
we're here.
You good to see you. You have been generous here with the promo code Bama Tailgate for our audience, R&RCigars.com. You get 20% off and free shipping. And of course, he's got that official stogie of the third Saturday and October game that if Alabama wins, you'll see him smoking on the sideline. All right, here we go, guys. Let me throw this up. This is it right here. Kenny is 13-9, Reagan 11-11. I'm 7-15. I don't know why we didn't move Kenny up in the standings there, but maybe because it's your week, Reagan. You're number one in our heart. But Kenny and I went 3-1 last week. You went 1-3, and so
that's why I'm in second.
That's why you're in second, except you're on top there. So, all right, that's what
Leslie taught me.
I don't make the graphics. I just read them. All right, here we go. Let's make our picks. We'll start with a pack Pac-12 game. Pac-12's had some really good games. Last week's Washington-Oregon game, we all won that one. That was a on this, if you break even, we all win, right? So it was a 3-point spread. They hit it right on the money. I don't know how they do that, but they do. This week's game is Utah, number 14, at USC. It's a 7-point spread. USC is the favorite. And Kenny, I'm going to start right there with you.
Yeah, let me handle it. I'm Trojans all the way here. College football, these are young kids, 18 to 22, 23 years old. There's emotions that go up and down in these games, and you see it back and forth. Notre Dame loses to Louisville. Louisville loses to Pittsburgh. USC loses at Notre Dame after Notre Dame got beaten. These teams bounce back, and they play better the next week. And I think USC now at home, they probably learned a lot about themselves last week. They have to make adjustments. Utah, great program, great head coach in Kyle Whittingham, but they're without their starting quarterback, Kyle Whittingham, Cameron Rising. Rising hasn't played all year, injured his knee last year in the bowl game. Don't think he's playing this weekend. If he does, boy, he's going to be rusty at best. And I don't think he's playing, but they've had problems at the quarterback position. There's a team that can't score going up a team like USC that can score. I think USC scores in the 30s. Utah they just don't have the fireworks to hang around with USC. So I'm taking the Trojans.
All right, Reagan.
Well, I don't know about y'all, but I've never had much use for Trojans. And the Utah, the Mormons, I am with the Mormons and the soaking that they're going to be doing this weekend. Look, I'm not a big gotcha. And I don't trust USC at all. I really don't. I mean, they haven't looked good. They score on offense. It doesn't matter who plays at quarterback because USC can't stop a nosebleed. So I like Utah. I like Utah this week. I really do. I think, especially with the off-field stuff that Caleb Williams has inserted himself into about I want equity in an NFL team, get real. I don't know. I think this week maybe I'll go 1-3 again, but I'm gonna pick. I can't go 1-3. I'm gonna go 1-2, but I'll take Utah in 7 points.
For whatever reason, Utah just struggles to play in Los Angeles. I mean, they're good at home and they play well everywhere else, but they just struggle every time they're in LA. So I hate giving up the 7, but I think USC is going to be motivated after that destruction that they faced at Notre Dame last week, which was a win for me, by the way. But I'm going to look for USC to bounce back, and I'm comfortable with the 7 that Utah, a very dangerous defensive team, has. But for whatever reason, they've always just had the jinx in LA. All right, Reagan, I'm going to throw you up first. Ole Miss at Auburn. It's a 6.5-point spread. Vegas is begging you to take the Rebels.
Well, I'm the Vegas sucker because I'm taking the Rebels. You got me. Vegas gets me again. Look, man, I think Auburn's terrible. I mean, look at how awful they've been. Do they even have a quarterback? I mean, it's crazy. Can Auburn score 6.5 points would be the better line. I don't care that it's on the plains. Look, man, Ole Miss still has something to play for. Alabama's got to win 2 more games, and they're tough games. So I don't think Ole Miss really struggles this week. I don't think it's 6.5. I think Ole Miss wins by a good bit. I'll probably look stupid again, but Ole Miss.
All right. Look, I'm going with the home dog. It's a win-win. I take Auburn at 6.5. I win, and if they win, and then if Ole Miss beats them by 6.5, I still win because I'm happy. So I just feel like it's so tough to win on the SEC on the road, and Auburn looked so bad last week against LSU. I just got a feeling that they're gonna be a little bit tougher this week, and they almost beat Georgia, but I'm going with the win-win. All right, what about you, Kenny?
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to take the 6.5. I think it's a little bit too much. The one thing Auburn does is they run the ball well, and I think that at home, that's what they're going to try to do. That'll be the game plan, keep Mississippi off the field. I guess easier said than done. But yeah, my numbers don't show it. They just don't show it should be that high. I have Ole Miss winning by 3, so got to take the 6.5.
All right. Stay up there, Kenny. Finish us off. Number 18, Tennessee, at number 11, Alabama. That's the game that we're covering here. Obviously, we do it every week. It's a 2:30 kickoff, Bryant-Denny Stadium. Bama's a 9-point favorite against Tennessee in this rivalry game.
Easy. Go Tide. Roll Tide. Have I been against the Tide for 3 straight weeks, but my numbers this week are saying a double-digit win by Alabama. So, yeah, I think Tennessee's a little overrated. Joe Milton is not the same as Hendon Hooker. This is not the same offense. They can't score points like they did last year. And if you're going to beat Bama, you're going to have to beat them over the top. Joe Milton can't do that. Alabama's defense is going to smother them in this game. From that loss last year, this game has been circled. The cigarettes have been ordered from R&R, and we're ready to smoke it out at the end of this game.
Cigarettes? What are we doing here?
Cigars. He meant cigars. You know that. Cigars. You know that, Reagan. All right. Well, let's pull Reagan up. Good job, Kenny, as always. All right, Reagan, cigar game. 9.
What Reuben Foster doesn't play here anymore, so it's no more cigarettes. So, look, Kenny kind of stole my thunder here. I mean, dude, everything that I've heard this week, this team is focused and motivated and ready to go. Whether they'll execute at that level, I don't know. I'm not surprised if Alabama wins by 2 touchdowns or more, if it's not ugly. I think they can blow them out. I really do. It's a matter of, do they take their foot off the gas like they did last week versus Arkansas? If they don't take their foot off the gas, Tennessee is in real trouble. Real trouble. And I really think, like this week, I think Nick made the comment yesterday about, it's great. The cigar tradition's great, especially when you're the one that's getting to smoke the cigars. And I think that this is a really, we don't know if this game's going to be protected or not. This could be the last home game of this game for Alabama and Tennessee for a while. So I'm guessing Alabama's going to beat them very badly, and I'm going to be smoking on the field after the game is over. There'll be some cool pictures on R&R's Instagram and R&R's Twitter. Go there and find them. There are also pictures of my adorable daughter all the time. So check out our Instagram, R&R Cigar. And go to our website, rnrcigars.com. Get 20% off with the Bama Tailgate promo. And get your victory cigars because you're going to light them up this week. But there's no free funds if they don't. Yep.
All right, guys, great stuff. I'm going to agree with both of you guys. They struggled so much against Tennessee. Against Florida, Tennessee did on the road. Alabama's felt like they lost all week, even though they won the football game. They didn't play well enough to win, but they did win. They tried to give it away at the end, but then they made big plays when they had to. I think these are the weeks where Nick Saban's got the team motivated, and I think that Alabama's going to win this football game. I don't know if it's going to be by 9, but I'm just going to take Alabama and give up the 9, and we'll just have to roll with that. I think Tennessee is going to be confident. They did beat Alabama a year ago. Their best players are in the NFL. But this is also a team that can play good defense and get after the quarterback. So Alabama's going to have to block. I think they're going to have to run the ball some and take advantage of those opportunities. But if they get the lead on Tennessee, I think it could be a long afternoon at Bryant-Denny Stadium today when Alabama takes on Tennessee. Thank you, guys. The Wizard of Odds out in Vegas, Kenny White, Reagan at R&R Cigar. And don't forget, with the promo code Bama Tailgate, rnrcigars.com right now, you can get 20% off and free shipping. Take advantage of it. Get the official cigars from right there at R&R Cigars. When we come back, we're going to break this thing down. Alabama and Tennessee, the third Saturday in October matchup. This is the cigar game, and we're going to talk more about it on the original Bama Football Tailgate Show right after this.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hi, Barry Buckner. It all adds up. Every time a Tuscaloosa Hyundai customer refers a friend or family member to come see us, we are truly grateful. I compare it to doubling a penny for 30 days. Believe it or not, by day 30, that one penny is over $5 million. Now that's adding up. I remind every Tuscaloosa Hyundai team member, it's only a satisfied customer who will give you a referral. That ultimate compliment earned by effort and excellence. And Tuscaloosa Hyundai has all the tools. A new vehicle lineup to meet any driving need. Premium pre-owned under 100,000 miles that we stand behind with our exclusive 1,000,000-mile warranty. Award-winning service, a company that values being named best of the best by our community. But above all, we are sincere in earning the trust that leads to a customer referral, and trust is priceless. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. Tuscaloosa Hyundai, corner of Skyland and Hargrove, TuscaloosaHyundai.com.
Hey, this is Reagan, owner of R&R Cigars, the Cigar Mansion in downtown Tuscaloosa, located at 2703 6th Street across from the Home 2 Suites. Come down to R&R and see why we're the ultimate cigar and bourbon experience. With over 165 bourbons and 5 private barrels, our selection of bourbon is unmatched. We have the best cocktails around, and our cigar selection is legendary. Our lounge and service are world-class. Come and experience the luxury of the mansion and see why it's a world-renowned cigar and spirits destination.
Check out Pawn Royale at 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport. The summer season is almost over. Time to go to Pawn Royale and find some amazing deals. Right now, our lawn and gardening inventory must go. That includes mowers, trimmers, blowers, chainsaws, you name it. Pawn Royale has deals on everything. Many items at cost or less. If you're in the market, come make a deal. That's Pawn Royale, 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You've heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Unique on the Strip. It's the best place to watch sports.
You're not even kidding. 11 TVs, NFL and MLB package, NHL, EPL, and so much more. If you want a game, they have it.
Now they're doing weekly NFL Pick'em, winners every Sunday, and grand prizes on Super Bowl Sunday.
And we haven't even mentioned the drink specials.
Of course they have daily drink specials. You can see them on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Unique T-Town every day.
Unique on the Strip. The best place to watch sports in Tuscaloosa.
This is My Great Escape,
where there's real gaming excitement.
And I can be who I want to be.
In a sea of slots. Taking in the big pots.
And always doubling down.
Our friends ask, what do y'all do at Pearl River Resort? No work.
All play.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Just keeping it real, baby.
Real players.
Real winning.
Real fun.
At Pearl River Resort.
Back at Innisfree on the Strip, getting you ready for Alabama and Tennessee. Our remote here at Innisfree is brought to you by Skrewball, the original peanut butter whiskey. Our show's always presented by Yuengling Larger, America's oldest brewery. We talked to Cheryl Yuengling, and she explained to us on the digital pregame on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel how she puts a little crimson love in each one of those green bottles. But with Chad Anderson, I'm Mick Gillispie, and it is great to have the guy who started this show. He's the godfather of the Tailgate Show. He's a national champion, and he's
He's like the guy. You ever seen the Dos Equis commercial? The most interesting guy. It's Baron Huber. What's up, brother?
Hey, I'm about to have as much gray hair as the guy on the Dos Equis commercial. If I don't watch it, this lighting here is bringing it out of me. Oh my God! Got up my beard, my eyebrows, my hair now.
Well, we're jamming right now, guys. I mean, what an atmosphere for this football game. Great to see you. You don't look old. You just look more distinguished.
I'm fooling a couple folks.
What do you think about this football game?
I think it's probably about as 50-50 as I can remember in a long time. I guess you would have to give us an advantage from the standpoint of we still have the better coach, right?
Yeah.
And it's at home, so you got to give us an advantage on that. But, Mick, other than those two things, buddy, I think it's about 50-50. I really do.
Yeah, if you go back and look over the last – since Saban's gotten here, every year other than Saban's first year, that was, to me, a shock that Alabama beat them as badly as they did and beat Eric Ainge 42-17, I think it was. Like, that was kind of that was a surprise. Not that Bama won, but how they won it. But if you go across Nick Saban's tenure at Alabama,
onside kick to start that game. By the way, were
that's
you
right.
there?
That's right.
That was the game I was a part of. And we decided.
Was he there?
Yeah, was he there? Yeah.
Did
you know it was coming?
Yeah, we decided to do that the morning of the game. And if you remember, we had a suspension of, I believe it was Rashad Johnson, Antoine Caldwell.
Was that the textbook?
Chris Rogers. It was the textbook deal.
Okay.
And we lost, three really fundamental elements of our team. And a guy that day named BJ Stabler, who now runs the A Club here at the university. He stepped in on 2 bum wheels and played his ass off and was really a huge part of our success that day. But no, we didn't decide to do an onside kick till the morning of the game.
Wow.
And to meet the adversity, we found out Friday night before the game that those guys weren't going to play. And then they'll wake up the next morning and
bad news.
Basically rip the Band-Aid off and be like, yeah, you know what? We're going to start with an onside kick. That was pretty awesome.
Who makes that call? Is that the special teams coach going to Saban saying we have to, or is that Nick?
No, that's Coach Saban.
That's Nick all the way? All right. So
no one's going to make a call like that without.
Well, I guess not make the call, more strongly suggest the call.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know who suggested that. Whoever it was spot on. But Bobby Williams was the special teams coach at that time. Knowing his personality, he probably would have suggested it. Bobby was a damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead kind of guy. So that might have been on him, but certainly he didn't get signed off with unless coach signed off on it.
Can you believe it was 15 straight years of beating those guys?
That's what's so weird about, you bring up the coin flip game. Last year, Bama fans had to be nervous going into Knoxville and what Tennessee was doing. But you're right. I mean, this is so weird because for 15 years, I never felt to be in a position where I was worried about Alabama winning the game, right? And then last year and now this year, it's a much tighter contest.
Well, if you think about it, the thing almost got boring.
Yeah.
The rivalry.
It wasn't a rivalry.
Yeah, there was a lot of people talking about it isn't a rivalry anymore. And does it exist? And, Mick, you and I have talked about that for years.
We knew. I'm in school, we lost to them. You grew up in the rivalry.
Yeah.
You got there right at the end of us getting beat by them every year.
Yep.
My thing was, if you don't think it's a rivalry, if that's where you're at.
Well, remember, we were on the show. Mike Johnson didn't even believe us.
I know, yeah. And that's a guy from Pensacola, Florida that didn't really grow up on either side of it.
And we almost lost.
And I always said, don't take it a loss to figure out that it's a rivalry.
You said that.
And it did. And you see how they reacted. And it's still, it was salt in the wound, right? And so, in my opinion, it's a rivalry. Not only is it a rivalry, to me, it's the founding game in our conference. And, you look at bringing in 2 other teams and the idea that possibly this game could go away on a yearly basis is really a crock, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and if the league does that, shame on the league because you don't lose it. Texas and Oklahoma should revolve around us, not us around them.
Yeah.
we have our ways here in this conference, and this game is a huge part of it. And to think that this game would even be in question, not being played on a yearly basis, to me is a shame. And then the conference should have come out and made an announcement. This is something that is not going to change. And the fact that they haven't, in my opinion, is weak on their part.
Yeah. From a player's perspective, a former player's perspective, have you ever seen Saban do what he did 2 nights ago on Thursday with Hey Coach and tell the fans you have to be a part of this game today?
Yeah, there's he's had a call to arms a couple times. But, I've seen more out of Coach this year, more things that I've never seen publicly out of him. And, honestly, I almost get the feeling that he's enjoying this year, to be candid. Yeah. I think in years past, he's kind of had the scowl or, almost so hyper intensive that it appears that, this guy doesn't have fun doing anything, which is not the truth.
Right.
But his outward appearance this year, it seems to me like he's having fun.
We're going to take a break. You and I, Baron, though, before we go to break, we're going to do our first Skrewball Peanut Butter Whiskey shot. Chad doesn't drink, so.
All right, well, Chad.
Roll Tide.
More for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Roll Tide.
Down the hatch, man.
Down the hatch.
Cheers. When we come back, Baron Huber, Chad Anderson, Mick Gillispie, the original Bama Football Tailgate Show, rolls on right after this.
Yuengling, America's oldest brewer, 6 generations. And for nearly 200 years, we've been all about bringing the good times. By hand, by foot, by bike, by bikers, by fanny pack or jetpack, by whatever means necessary. With Yuengling Traditional Lager, good times taste even better. Yuengling, bring the goods.
Autumn brings vivid colors to the back roads and hollows of Sevierville, Tennessee. Wind your way to quaint country churches, a historic covered bridge, and even a pick-your-own apple orchard. This fall, the best views are yours on Sevierville's Rocky Flats Fall Driving Tour. Learn more and find additional fall drives to enjoy at visitsevierville.com/fall.
Immerse yourself in the continuing dynasty of Alabama football with The Legacy Continues, a visually striking image from artist Daniel A. Moore. This sequel to Moore's 1992 sold-out painting, The Crimson Legacy, features iconic moments and memorabilia from the last 30 seasons of Tide football. Don't miss your opportunity to own this lasting tribute sure to be cherished by Bama fans for years to come. Pre-order The Legacy Continues now at danielmooreart.com.
Hey y'all, it's Jennifer from the Floribama, and we're excited that football is back. The Floribama is proud to support Alabama football, and we invite you to join us at Floribama Over Grill for a game day experience like no other. We have over 40 TVs and a brand new game day menu that includes endless wings, Santa Fe egg rolls, street corn nachos, and so much more. Bring your friends and join us for all the college and NFL games. Floribama's Old River Grill, open at 11 a.m. daily, right across the street from the world-famous Floribama.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You've heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Tuscaloosa is Alabama's ultimate sports destination and a place for outdoor enthusiasts to thrive. It's a community rooted in history and one that's on the cusp of a burgeoning art scene too. Tuscaloosa is vibrant, it's charming, and it's familiar. Its people welcome you with open arms and warm hellos into a community that's tied together. Tuscaloosa, is our home.
This is my great escape.
Where there's real gaming excitement.
And I can be who I want to be.
In a sea of slots.
Taking in the big pot.
And always doubling down.
Our friends ask, what do y'all do at Pearl River Resort?
No work.
All play.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Just keeping it real, baby.
Real players.
Real winning.
Real fun.
At Pearl River Resort.
Final segment of the original Bama Football Tailgate Show on radio. We're going to be on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel for an extended segment. So if you guys go online, you can listen to us. But with Baron Huber, Chad Anderson, I'm Mick Gillispie, and we're talking about Alabama and Tennessee, 2:30 kickoff, Bryant-Denny Stadium. Guys, it's time to start picking this game. What do you think about this game? Chad, I'm going to start with you, then Baron.
I'm still waiting for this Alabama team to play a complete 4 quarters. I think that's actually a good thing that they haven't done it yet, put it all together in one game. The defense, we talked about it early, Mick. The defense has been a different animal this year. And I love the attitude, the intensity, everything they do. I think Tennessee is going to get a more physical Alabama defense this year than they saw last year. Got to clean up the penalties. Got to avoid the sacks. It's been a huge problem with the offensive line. But if you give Milroe that extra second, that deep ball is so pretty. It's when he has time to throw it. But I think revenge game, Saban seems to be in an oddly good mood. I think with the defense playing tougher, I'll take our head coach. I'll take Jalen over Joe Milton. I'll take Alabama's defense over Tennessee's. I'll take Bryant-Denny today. So I'm going to go Alabama 31, Tennessee 17.
You were spurred by Philip Fulmer. Didn't think you could do it. And all you did was win a national championship in 2009 in that crimson and white. What a beautiful uniform to come out there and wear that number 40 the way that you did and win that championship. You want to beat these guys. What's going to happen in this football game?
I'm going to go. My prediction is going to be 31-27. I think we score a defensive touchdown that puts us on the over. I think the over is 49.5, right?
Somewhere in there, yeah.
Somewhere in there. I really do think the two teams are evenly matched 50-50. It scares me that their strength and our weakness, their strength is the defensive line. Our weakness is, I think, our offensive line. Yeah. And I still think we have a weakness in just being good with who we are. I think we're still trying to find our feet. There were some times last week that I watched the defense. I'm like, that's what we're used to seeing. The first drive of the second half last week, that was Alabama football for 72 yards or whatever it was to kick the field goal. And decided to throw it on 3rd and 3 after we ran the ball all the way down the field. But anyway, if we can settle in this game, I think we're going to win. But this game really has a chance to catapult us to the second half of the season and beyond. This is where we put it together and get into a real heavyweight fight and win.
Well, Baron, this is your Yuengling Larger shirt. It's an eagle with two Yuenglings.
Two things I like: beers and eagles.
Bears and Eagles. You and I and Chad are going to stick around for overtime. Okay?
Yeah, love it.
The radio audience, you guys come hang out with us on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. What I'm going to tell you guys is this. Is that Alabama's defense is going to be ferocious. The crowd is going to be into it. Joe Milton's going to be in a spot where he's got to throw the football, and he's going to run into a guy named after a very important beverage when I was growing up, Kool-Aid. Okay? He's going to run into Malachi Moore. He's going to have a tough time throwing the football. It's going to be an arm wrestling match. But when Bama goes ahead and Tennessee's at that spot where they really have to make a play throwing, they're going to be in big trouble. I like what Tennessee's doing. I think they're going in the right direction. But today's game is going to be all about Alabama and Tuscaloosa. I think Alabama rolls. I think they covered the spread. I just don't see Tennessee score more than 10. I think it'll be something like 27-10.
Wow. No more than 10, really.
24.
What gives you? Yeah. Well, what gives you the confidence on that? Huh?
that neighborhood.
Isn't it amazing though that Tennessee's strength of their offense is their ground game?
Yeah, they have a good ground game. but Alabama's always stopped the run with Nick Saban. That does it for the original Bama Football Tailgate Show. Thanks for hanging out with us. Show's brought to you by Yuengling Larger, America's oldest brewery. In this remote, presented by Skrewball, the original peanut butter whiskey. If you're on digital, hang around. If you're on radio, roll tide. Have a great day, and we will talk to you next week, everyone. Alabama, Tennessee, 2:30.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hi, Barry Buckner. It all adds up. Every time a Tuscaloosa Hyundai customer refers a friend or family member to come see us, we are truly grateful. I compare it to doubling a penny for 30 days. Believe it or not, by day 30, that one penny is over $5 million. Now that's adding up. I remind every Tuscaloosa Hyundai team member, it's only a satisfied customer who will give you a referral. That ultimate compliment earned by effort and excellence. And Tuscaloosa Hyundai has all the tools. A new vehicle lineup to meet any driving need. Premium pre-owned under 100,000 miles that we stand behind with our exclusive million-mile warranty. Award-winning service, a company that values being named best of the best by our community. But above all, we are sincere in earning the trust that leads to a customer referral. And trust is priceless. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. Tuscaloosa Hyundai, corner of Skyland and Hargrove, TuscaloosaHyundai.com.
Hey, this is Reagan, owner of R&R Cigars, the Cigar Mansion in downtown Tuscaloosa, located at 2703 6th Street across from the Home 2 Suites. Come down to R&R and see why we're the ultimate cigar and bourbon experience. With over 165 bourbons and 5 private barrels, our selection of bourbon is unmatched. We have the best cocktails around, and our cigar selection is legendary. Our lounge and service are world-class. Come and experience the luxury of the mansion and see why it's a world-renowned cigar and spirits destination.
Check out Pawn Royale at 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport. The summer season is almost over. Time to go to Pawn Royale and find some amazing deals. Right now, our lawn and gardening inventory must go. That includes mowers, trimmers, blowers, chainsaws, you name it. Pawn Royale has deals on everything. Many items at cost or less. If you're in the market, come make a deal. That's Pawn Royale, 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Unique on the Strip. It's the best place to watch sports.
You're not even kidding. 11 TVs, NFL and MLB package, NHL, EPL, and so much more. If you want a game, they have it.
Now they're doing weekly NFL Pick'em, winners every Sunday, and grand prizes on Super Bowl Sunday.
And we haven't even mentioned the drink specials.
Of course they have daily drink specials. You can see them on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Unique T-Town every day.
Unique on the Strip. The best place to watch sports in Tuscaloosa.
This is my great escape,
where there's real gaming excitement.
And I can be who I want to be.
In a sea of slots. Taking in the big pot.
And always doubling down.
Our friends ask, what do y'all do at Pearl River Resort? No work.
All play.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Just keeping it real, baby.
Real players.
Real winning.
Real fun.
At Pearl River Resort.
Who's left? Overtime on the show. The digital overtime. You can say shit on here.
That's great.
I know. This is what it's all about. It's
It just
like
makes me feel more at home.
Well, it's for all the people that stuck with us through all the commercials, the digital post-game show on this Alabama-Tennessee game. Baron Huber, Chad Anderson, Mick Gillispie.
Let's be honest. More people are wanting to say shit and damn and piss and all that other stuff right now, right?
I mean, how do you
that's
really,
a lot more normal.
How do you really talk sports if you can't say shit?
Exactly.
All right, look, Jersey Dolphins, love Jersey Dolphins. He's up with me on my other channel, and now he's here.
Nice.
He said, pour them shots, Mick. I'm thirsty. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, here we go.
So for Jersey Dolphins, let's fucking
Is he a Dolphins fan?
He's Jersey Dolphins.
Yeah, well, it's the animal or the team?
Roll Tide.
Either one?
Yeah, either one. Dolphins 3. I don't know about y'all.
Pretty damn good.
So these are delicious.
They're very good.
And there's 2 more. And there's 2 of us.
Yeah, I mean, I love peanut butter and I love whiskey, so naturally I think it would be a good combo. But
I'll tell you, when they sold to a different distributor, they were part of the show, and then I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know if they were coming back. They came back.
Nice. Aaron, I'm on the golf course last Friday.
Yeah.
Mick calls me on his drive up to Tuscaloosa. He sounds like a high school girl who just got excited about some guy calling her because he's like, you won't believe it, Skrewball's back.
We're getting screwed.
Yeah. This guy, he talked for an hour about Skrewball whiskey coming back.
Help yourself.
And how excited he was about shots on the air.
I mean, there's something. Hell, I still get excited about shots.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame the
I
guy.
love shots. Let's take shots at Tennessee. Like, this is my favorite rivalry. She's a ball.
Ball fan? Oh, here we go. Here we go. It's 2 more balls you got.
You bring them? Look. From Texas.
Oh, no.
Texas. Well, help yourself. You got to get some Skrewball stickers. Really? Well, here.
There's only one way to get screwed.
Yeah. You know.
They had an accident at the Vols
I know,
table
they're
back
ball
here.
fans. They're
Yeah.
ball fans.
What's their heart?
They fumbled
They did.
the drink.
They did.
I have a lot of respect for Tennessee. You know, I spent half of my life up in Knoxville, and they're getting it together. I mean, you got to give them the credit.
But
They're getting it together.
They had nowhere to go but up.
It was pretty lousy.
It was bad for a while.
But I'll be honest, I knew when Randy Boyd took over as president, they were going to be good because he's a winner, and I'm noticing a difference.
He's kind of a winner.
Guys, compared to that, remember when
I don't know how he blew the governor. I don't know how he blew the governor.
Introducing their next coach, Aunt B, the Aunt B lady.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that?
No. What Randy has going for him that they hadn't had in a long time. Oh well, Randy has a lot going for him. First of all, he's been very successful and but you can tell that he has a passion for the university, and he works his ass off to leave it better than what he found it. And quite frankly, to your point, Chad, it was in bad shape when he founded the athletic department. And you got a guy that's a hometown guy that really cares, that actually wants the university and athletic department to be good. And it shows.
Yeah.
And they made a hell of a hire with Josh Heupel.
He's done a great job.
Remember how short removed we are from Greg Schiano in Tennessee?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Like, think of where they've come from, right? Derek Dooley and Pants, Butch Jones. Butch actually had a year and a half that were good. And then they end up with Jeremy Pruitt. Didn't work out, but they were at Greg Schiano's doorstep. And now to where they are.
I didn't think that would have been a bad hire, frankly.
I don't think so either.
I don't either.
Somebody somewhere didn't like
better
it.
than Pruitt.
Somebody important did not like
Well, I disagree with you on that. I think Pruitt was a great hire, and what all they did with Schiano was they Pruitted Schiano before he got the job.
They had a chance to have Mike Leach, and apparently that's what caused all the problems with the old athletic director. I love Mike Leach.
I love Mike Leach too, but I think Mike Leach is like, I think he's the all-time 8-4 guy.
Mike Leach would have not have fit there.
He's never had a good.
He just
look at this guy.
There you go.
Look, hey, just
you need a Magnum. We need to get a Magnum size.
That's obviously the women's.
Hey, man. Nowadays, you can wear whatever you want to wear. Bud.
Yeah. This day and age, you know.
You identify it however you want. You wear it.
Non-binary.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Here. Skrewball. Roll Tide.
No, but here's the thing. Mike Leach wouldn't have been an answer.
I don't think he would have lasted there.
I'll be honest with you. I really don't think Josh Heupel is the long answer. He's a system. But
is he
systems? Defenses always catch up with systems. I.e., look at Gus Malzahn.
Okay, so that's who I was going to say. You think Heupel's better or worse?
I think he's the same.
Same person?
Yeah. I think he's actually. I'm not talking about a person.
No.
Same coach.
Yeah, coach-wise, yeah.
Fantastic.
The only difference I would see is I think Heupel has less arrogance than Gus Malzahn. You know, like Malzahn carries a sense of arrogance to me that it's going to be, he's going to figure it out and he can run it his way. I think Heupel's smarter and more humble to change, but he's a system guy, in my opinion.
Were you surprised Heupel didn't end up at Oklahoma?
You know, I don't know what the deal is with there. Has anybody ever actually got to the very end? The short answer would be yes.
I mean, I was shocked.
Him and Bob Stoops have it. There's a thing. He was the offensive coordinator. Bob Stoops fired him. Bob Stoops was in charge of that search.
And so he shit on him because of that?
Yeah. And that's his Heisman quarterback. Didn't he win the Heisman?
Yes. And a national championship, too.
13-2.
I don't know, man. So you think Bob has that much control?
That's what I heard.
Wow. Well, look, Steve Spurrier has that much control over Florida still.
Really?
Absolutely. And I know that on good accord. That he has that kind of grasp on it. You know, I mean, and I mean, look, guys. I mean, hell, we went through after Bryant. For sure. I mean, look what we did.
Perkins, Curry. Yeah.
Stallings.
Yeah.
All Bryant guys.
Yep.
You know,
Stallings had a championship.
Oh, yes. Yeah, but we tried to stay in the tree.
Right.
You know, and I don't know.
What do you think about the tree?
But you know what, though? And what really sucked was the first time they went non-tree, they got burned with Franchione.
Yeah.
That was the first non-tree hire.
He's a piece of
shit.
Yeah,
and then Saban, of course, is non-tree. But
he had the list. He had a list.
Franchione?
Yeah, each interview him, he had a list.
Mental toughness, extra effort.
I don't know if he has a list, but he's a piece of shit. He's non-professional. He fucking
got his bobblehead.
You have a Franchione bobblehead?
Two of them. One
Dude,
they gave him away to Arby's.
You know what we need to do? We got to bring that up here one night and blow it up like they did the Bartman ball with the Cubs.
The electrocution. Electrocute it. So, how long is very valid because Tennessee's an unreasonable fan base. So, because of what Heupel did last year, how long until he has to get into the playoff? Now, it's going to get easier next year with 12 teams. So, but how long until you're actually playing for something? Because you're still the stepchild to Georgia right now.
So you have to remember, I grew up on a very unique perspective of this rivalry because I grew up a Tennessee fan. And the Kool-Aid that I drank was Tennessee Kool-Aid. It was orange.
Yeah.
The truth about that whole deal, in my opinion, is Tennessee had, a very climactic moment in college football in the 30s and 40s under Neyland.
Right.
And then it kind of ebbed and flowed, sort of like above. When I say ebbed and flowed, I'm talking about the mediocrity line.
Right.
Tennessee's never been like Kentucky or Vanderbilt or Mississippi State.
They've always been decent.
They've always been above the mediocrity line, but that's always kind of been the inflection point, And so I think it's really important when you look at one decade in the 90s that I would say they dominated. They at least won a national championship, 2 SEC championships. Now, when you look at what Alabama's done with Coach Saban, what we've done, that ain't shit. I mean, when you look at what we've done over the course of history, it's not shit. I mean, how many SEC championships did we win in the 60s and 70s?
Right.
80s, I would say, would be the only decade that we weren't really worth a damn. Other than that,
the 50s were bad.
Yeah. I mean, think about this.
Yeah, Bart Starr told me he came in and they didn't win a game.
Yeah.
Bart Starr.
Bart Starr. Think about it. Jesus Christ.
He's
My
not
grandmother,
gonna
88,
football.
if she knows how to log into this, she's listening to that.
I found it today. I was looking for something in the closet. And he signed, the first time I ever saw my son's name written was by Bart Starr.
Oh, man, always keep that.
How
That's so
freaking cool is that?
Yeah, always keep that.
Our
dude.
my first ever interview on WVUA radio, Bart Starr.
Wow.
Ironically, yes, great guy.
So here's one that'll send chills up your spine. Do you know that Mike Dubose has won an SEC championship since Tennessee has?
Wow. 99 to 98, huh?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Mike Dubose.
Wow.
Mike Dubose has won more SEC championships than Tennessee has in the last.
And
Saban stole the one from him when he was at LSU.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say 01, Saban ripped their hearts out because 01, they were going to the Rose Bowl to play Miami. And that's when Nebraska backdoored their way in.
Yep.
Didn't win their division, but got in as number 2 in the BCS and got waxed by Ken Dorsey and all those guys and Larry Coker in Miami. But that's nuts to put that in perspective.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
99 was my senior year.
Yeah, 99, man. Last SEC championship, Tennessee won.
Cheryl was asking me today. She was like, because she was like, Cheryl Yuengling. She's like, I graduated in 02. I was like, well, I finished grad school in 03. But I graduated undergrad in 99. And that's why there's a 99 helmet in my home studio.
Oh, okay.
Now you know.
Adds up.
Yeah. And it was a great year.
Yeah.
To think that Tennessee hasn't won an SEC championship since then, it's freaking nuts.
You know, you talk about this rivalry, that 99 game against Tennessee, that one sucked ass.
I was there.
Because that was the one where Sean got hurt.
Oh, yeah.
He was in the Heisman front seat, got hurt, dropped a touchdon pass.
Dropped that wheel route play.
Yep. And Tennessee won 21-7.
Was on like a 4th and 19. Ran,
Yeah, that one sucked.
It sucked.
Yeah.
Talking about the overtime game.
That's the 5 overtime. That was 03.
That was 03.
That was 03.
That was 4th and 19, though. That was Casey
was
Clausen.
in Birmingham, no?
No, it was here.
Here?
It was here. Yeah. It was 21-7 Tennessee.
It was in Tuscaloosa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the first time.
You weren't here. I'm glad we were pulling for Tennessee that day. Because it freaking sucked.
I've been in the 7th grade.
After that, I hated school.
And 99.
No,
03. Yeah, 03.
It was like 1st and 1.
Oh, wait, hold on.
We're talking the first down.
99 was in Birmingham.
No, it was here.
It was in Tuscaloosa?
Yeah, it was here.
No,
First time.
Real
First time.
Yeah, I didn't know that. 03 definitely was in.
It was here. I was
here for that game. That was the first time I ever came to Tuscaloosa was 03.
Yeah, because 03 was my freshman year.
James Banks on a 4th and 19.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but we had the 1st and 1 and didn't get it.
Yeah.
Kicked field goal.
Do you remember that?
08 or 06. We kicked the field goal from the 1 yard line.
You can talk about this, Baron. When Nick Saban showed up, shit changed in Alabama.
Oh yeah.
We went from being that to being put your ring up. Just show everybody. We went from being that to being that ring.
Right there, you got it.
Yeah.
You got it. That's perfect.
We went from being chumps to champs.
I would never say we've been chumps. It's always been there in programs.
This series we were. We lost like 7 or something in a row.
Yeah.
To Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm still not going to call us fucking chumps.
Yeah, no. I can't go.
I got too much pride to say that.
It's a saying.
No. What we were.
I love those things, but we
were sleepy. We were sleepy.
We started kicking everybody's ass.
Yeah, we
like
were
Derek
sleepy.
Purdy. Did you guys see Derek Purdy over there?
No, is he here?
Let's see.
That's a Hall of Famer there.
Hall of Fame.
Tuscaloosa Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. We need to make a bar Hall of Fame. We need to do that. We should come up with a Tuscaloosa bar Hall of Fame. Trip Rogers, Harry Hammond.
I knew Harry.
Harry,
You guys know Harry?
He just died this year.
I know.
Did not.
Yeah.
Harry,
Harry, the Harrys.
The whole other show. Harry and I were tight in a weird way, but we were. I used to work the Skull when Wayne Mills played at Harry.
Yeah.
Harry's bar.
They're
and
both
I got
dead.
to know him. Yeah, I mean, like the long story, but yeah.
Yeah, Wayne's gone. And
I miss Wayne too.
I think Harry died this year.
He died this year.
Yeah, which I have no idea how he lived that
Did
long.
you guys have Wayne Mills when you were in school?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Because I was talking to Jay Coker, and he's like,
no.
And I'm like, well, for us, Tuesday and Harry's with Wayne Mills was the shit.
Yeah, Wayne was on his way out while I was still in school, so there's no way that Jake would have made it.
I want to ask you from a player who played in 09 versus today's game, because your championship team, I mean, there was one game where Mark Ingram just ran the Wildcat 38 times.
South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina, right? Like, I mean, the poor guy was gassed. You could see him just completely out of it by the end of that drive. But that Alabama team was ground pound, defense, physical, punch in the mouth, old school. And obviously that shifted over the course of the last decade and a half or so. But one thing that I saw last week, and this is what I want you to talk about, is the announcers too. Everybody says, because you brought up 1st and 2 in that 2003 Tennessee game, everybody gets into this spot where they're so predictable, right? Like run it up the middle, QB sneak, whatever. Or if you're trying to run the clock, it's the same old crap. Like, okay, we're going to run it twice. You're going to call your 2 timeouts. 3rd down, we've got to decide, are we going to run it or are we going to throw it? You're going to either use your timeout or not. Like, it's so predictable, right? So last week against Arkansas, Jalen Milroe, Tommy Reese, Nick Saban, whoever made the call, on 2nd and 13, you need a 1st down to clinch the game and run the clock out. Well, instead of running on 2nd down and knowing you're going to throw on 3rd, Alabama drops back and throws on 2nd down to Nyblack, catches it, 1st down, game over, because you can take knees at that point. Today's game versus before, the reason you would do that is because teams couldn't go down the field in 40 seconds. Like today they can, the way the passing and the attacking and the way it sets up. Like, do you agree with that? Do you see that?
So to be clear, no, I thought that was a very stupid play call.
You did? Okay. I loved it.
It was a stupid play call. It was a very stupid-ass pass. It was
a terrible pass.
Very lucky to get completed, and it should have been intercepted, and we probably should have lost the game because of that. But that's just my opinion. Secondly, there's principles in this game that will never change. I don't give a shit who comes out with whatever the greatest next thing is. It will never change. I can point you to as many different fucking data points as you want to, as long as you got the patience to sit here. You can either run the ball or you can't. That'll never change. You can either stop it or you can't, and that'll never change. And everything else around the game is just decoration. And a case in point would be when you look in 2020, everybody talks about Devontae Smith, Heisman Trophy winner, Mac Jones, first-round draft pick. You look at all the wide receivers that we've had over the years. The point is, when we have had our ass in a bind, we've always been able to, whether we're on the road or at home, when the pace of the game hasn't been what we wanted, we've had a stud offensive line and a stud running back to redirect momentum, redirect pace, and bring it back to what we want. Najee Harris in 20.
Yeah.
Right? Mark Ingram in my year. We talk about South Carolina, the game you talk about with the Wildcat.
Yeah.
That was South Carolina at that time. South Carolina was a top 15 team, remember?
Right. Yeah.
That was a big game. That was a night game. Yeah, Spurrier.
I was there.
I mean, Derrick Henry, Brian Robinson, all of them.
Yeah.
Jay Yeldon. Yeah.
But that particular game was tight in the second half.
Yeah.
And we just said, fuck it, we're going to line up. We're going to do what we do, and if they're bigger than we are, then we'll just get our ass beat.
That game started with a Mark Barron pick 6.
Yeah.
Like an 80-yard pick 6.
Yeah, he was so good.
Yeah.
Mark Barron's great.
You talk about one of the legends in Crimson. Mark Barron's right up there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a name that's forgotten in all the great names.
There's so many, but
no, you want a good?
It was UMS rights. He was with AJ McCarron, St. Paul.
Was he?
Yeah,
yeah. You know why I know that? Because doing the Elephant in the Room podcast, with Jay Coker and then Ryan Anderson comes over. Those guys always they're from down there. They know all. The
Ryan Anderson's Daphne.
Yeah, great guy.
I mean, Kenny Stabler, even going all the way back to the 60s. You know, that's a Foley guy.
Foley, yeah.
We had
Julio. Is Julio still? We all think Julio is still the best receiver.
Not only was he a great receiver, he was a hell of a teammate, a great friend. Julio is a professional and has always been. He was a professional at a very young age.
Yeah, he was.
I can't say enough. There's no way in hell I can give enough compliments to how great that guy is.
I'm glad he's getting a shot with Philly.
Yeah, I hope
That's
he wins
cool.
the ring. Which,
Yeah.
I mean, if he wins a ring, he's in the Hall of Fame. No,
I think
if he wins one,
I love him.
Don't you think?
I
No,
don't think so.
When he
I think he's
got to get the
I
ring.
think he's got to win one.
You got to
though,
get
don't
one,
you?
yeah.
he didn't win one. He wasn't on the.
He was on the Falcons team that blew the
That blew it.
28-3.
I know that one, but wasn't he on the team that won with Tom Brady?
No, he missed it by a year.
He was on the next year. Okay. Well, I mean, do you have to have that?
What about Dante Hightower, Hall of
He
Famer?
was awesome.
What, 3 Super Bowls? Maybe one of the most prolific plays in Super Bowl history, the strip.
What about
No?
What about Baron Huber for Hall of Fame party? This guy had
Fireball shooter.
This guy had a fireball fountain.
Fireball shooter, yeah. Hey, I
I
heard.
went over to his house the first time. I'm like, holy shit, what is going on here? Mom and dad are
Oh,
tipping back.
it's a great
Yes,
place.
Baron, like,
Oh, yeah.
It's a
Mike
great
Johnson,
spot.
Everybody's there. And then
You
they
know,
hit a
like
bell.
all of Tuscaloosa's there.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
hit a bell and everybody runs to the fountain.
Yeah, man. It's pretty
great.
simple, just like cows.
So I heard Courtney Upshaw today was doing a signing here in Tuscaloosa.
I'd love to
Yeah.
see him. I haven't seen him in years.
Well, apparently he was signing the Yay Alabama bottles, the vodka bottles,
Yeah.
and apparently a fan had him inscribed "Touch that thing, foe." And apparently he obliged.
That's great.
Signed it.
That's Mark Bear, too. Oh,
Yeah.
Mark Bear.
Yeah.
And you know what? He was number 41. I was number 40. We shared, I mean, literally, we shared a space together. You know, in the locker room, you got, what, I don't know, 2 feet between each other. And, you know, he came in as a freshman, just a humble guy, shit ton of talent, you know, wanted to be great, and ended his career great. And, you know, I was another really, really good teammate, man. I mean, we just had a lot of really good
We had some great, and it's continued. And then we got the game tomorrow. Final thoughts for tonight. Final thoughts.
shit, man. I mean, I said 31-27 on the radio deal. Now that I think about it, and I've had another couple drinks, maybe a little different. You know, I really do
Two
think.
shots. They came and took our other shot.
Yeah, typical Tennessee fans.
Now they're just making friends.
Living off of other greatness. I don't know, man. I really do think it's a toss-up. Here's what bothers me is I don't know how we take a punch yet. I mean, I suppose we took a couple with Texas. You're going to take a couple tomorrow. You know, I hope that we can respond, but you know, I don't know yet. I really do think if we came out tomorrow and dominated, or if we came out tomorrow and just won, I think it means a lot. I really think that's a nice forward lean going into the back half of the season because the talent's there.
Yeah,
I think the want to is there. I mean, the shit that we watch this year that we get upset about, it's not guys like lack of effort stuff. It's not the stuff that like really makes your stomach feel uneasy. It's just like stupid penalties. It's like you know, just really bad mistakes, but they're effort mistakes, which is more than I can say in some years when the mistakes have just been like, somebody doesn't give a shit. I don't see that.
Had 9 pre-snap penalties against A&M. Like, holy shit, it's so bad. You know, I feel like Bama as a fan base is in that position where you're right. Like, if Alabama takes the first punch, I don't know what the crowd does and affects the game because everybody, if Bama gets behind and the way this team is built and there's still some uneasiness, I feel like everybody will just be sitting there like, oh shit, and holding their breath, intense and nervous versus if you come out and do the 0-5 Brody to Tyrone Prothro, play action, deep ball, bam, people forget too in that Florida game. And is that Florida drove the ball down the field and actually got a couple of bounces, and then the defense stalled the drive. They got the punt, went in the end zone, and then first play went deep. Or didn't go in the end zone, got pinned, but they went deep. I just think if Bama throws the first haymaker tomorrow, I don't think Tennessee's built either to overcome the crowd.
Very good point.
Overcome the momentum.
So are you calling for an onside kick?
I'm not. No.
I would love it.
No. First play. Although I'd be all for it. I don't think they will, because I think Kevin Steele and Nick Saban look at our defense and say, pin them, they're not going to move the ball very well on us, and they don't want Tennessee to have an opening opportunity.
Yeah.
But I just think if Bama can come out and throw the first punch, they didn't against Texas. They were playing from behind, except for that one touchdown to Jermaine
play
Burton.
catch, instead of playing punch.
Yeah. So I think you got to throw the first haymaker, and if you do that,
that's a really, really good point. And I think in some degree the fan base does respond to it because
we got gifts.
Oh, thank you very much.
We got gifts.
Because he doesn't drink. Just your drink. Let's go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, everybody. That's nice and chilled. That's Skrewball. That's Skrewball, huh?
So good.
Oh, vodka chocolate.
Anything you want to say here? No.
She's a shooter, not a talker.
I'm my kind of girl.
Finish your shot, Cincinnati. You got half a shot.
No, I think that's a fair point, though, and part of the reason is because as a fan, we don't really know.
It's a great shot.
It kind of goes back and forth. All right, well, who's got, who's back? I don't know yet.
I think that's why Nick said it Thursday night, because I think he knows this team will feed and feast if they get ahead and the crowd's going apeshit.
I think you're right.
But if they get behind, the fan base,
which tells you what?
Like, think about it.
But when young,
inexperienced at a lot of positions, emotional,
inexperienced.
They haven't been in these situations. A lot of expectations on a lot of young guys this year too, because everybody said Bama's going to win the national title this year because they were going to play pissed off.
Yeah,
remember? I mean, that was the thing.
It's a lazy comment.
It is.
But yes, do we have to leave right now? I got another thought to bring up.
Throw it up.
Oh shit! I just lost it. Oh yeah. Let me ask you this: if we lose tomorrow, let's just say, and we win out, can we still get in the playoffs? No.
I think there's too many teams log jammed.
No.
Now, get this though. Me and Mick have had this debate and this argument. I say if we went out and go 12-1 as SEC champion, Bama's in no matter what.
Yeah.
He's worried about style play.
I think you have to have style play.
Oh no, dude.
Thank you. Please explain to him.
No, you're trying to be too cute on that. You're telling me the winner of 22 out of the last 25 fucking national championships, they're gonna keep no, dude. No.
You look at who's ahead.
No.
It doesn't matter.
No. It's a no. Right. It's a no.
I hope you're right.
It's a no for me, dog.
It's honestly, it's not even
it's not a debate.
No.
It's
This is a down year for the SEC.
Doesn't matter.
It wouldn't matter, bro. If in a one-loss Alabama in the SEC championship that lost to Texas, who may be in the playoff, by the way.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell me they're gonna go out? No,
they're in.
It's not even.
They're 100%. They're 100%.
But what I will agree on you is the logjam you're talking about. There is a logjam at the top that I do think screws us.
That's what I'm saying.
Not on 11-1 screws us.
But I'm saying
just saying
a
in general.
logjam.
Yeah, there is a logjam.
There is a logjam, but it won't screw a 12-1 SEC champion.
You think that?
No, I know that. There's no way.
We didn't get in last year. We were better than two.
We had two losses.
But
but you had two losses.
Yeah, you had two losses.
And you were not a conference champion. You weren't even a division winner.
We're still better than.
I mean, that's great, but you got to play the game.
We got dicked on that.
He thinks we got dicked.
That's what two losses. Dick down in Dallas.
Dick down in Dallas. Do you know that?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
The first time I heard it, I was like, great song.
Well, great song, dude.
All right. What do you got? final thoughts?
Still 31-17 Bama. But if Bama is flat in the first quarter, it'll be pants shitting time. I mean, if they're flat in the first quarter, I'm going to be nervous. Yeah, I'm going to be nervous.
You were in the Rocky block.
But what I was going to say earlier, in the past, Alabama teams in the past, think about it. Nick Saban has been down 21-0 on the road with Jalen Hurts as quarterback as a freshman against Ole Miss, right? Chad Kelly, Ole Miss, came back and won that game. Bama was down in 2019 to LSU, big at halftime, came back to within a touchdown of that game. Like, those teams were built to come back. They didn't care.
I know this
team isn't built that way. That's why everybody holds their breath if Bama takes the punch versus delivering the punch.
Aaron?
Yeah, I agree with you. We're maybe, I don't know if we are or not built like that yet.
Not yet.
Tomorrow's going to be quite honest with you, I think tomorrow's going to tell us the rest of the season.
It could.
We may go out and we may be down at halftime and come back and punch back. And if we do that, I think that's what you're going to see the rest of the season. We may come out and just knock the shit out of it.
I hope
and I do too, trust me. So does my liver. But here's what's exciting about tomorrow, in my opinion. You're going to know what we got and what we don't got.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's a
really
big
game.
Yeah, tomorrow's a big boy game.
Well, you'll get a week off.
You'll know.
Yeah.
You'll know what the actual competitive character of this team is after tomorrow.
I'm going to tell you guys, I love you guys. Thank you for doing the show. And I don't know how many friends I have, but you two are amongst those. So
when we do the Bar Hall of Fame, I love you too, brother. When we do the Bar Hall of Fame, can you MC that every year? When we do the induction ceremony, can we do like a real thing where you get the jackets and we should do it, man.
The show is fun, but the show is fun when I have Cheryl on, and if you on, people I really love. But this is why I do this. It's not always like, this experience. I bet a fucking blast.
I'll have to, man.
I hate that we have to.
We do have to.
Send you
we got to go. Yeah.
I have to cut it, but thank you guys.
Enjoyed it.
Thank you, man.
Let's do it again for LSU. You come to
Sounds
LSU?
good. I'll be here. Yep.
Let's do it. Can we do it again?
I'm bringing my Korean business partners who've never been to a college football. They're gonna be ready.
And all you guys, thank you for being here. Roll Tide, everybody.